guys, we're back with you live. How are ya? Continuing to cross the pond in the PMDG 747 on our FSX installation. Normally this is a general aviation stream, in case you're new to the channel. Normally we fly general aviation planes for the most part on Monday and Friday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. But VATSIM Cross the Pond Day is always like, it's like a Christmas morning for flight sim enthusiasts here on the VATSIM network. So we wake up bright and early, so those of us in the U.S. that is, wake up bright and early. It's like, you know, woke up at 5 this morning and couldn't get back to sleep and was just ready to get my stream started and get this flight underway. If you saw the earlier stream, you saw that our departure out of Manchester was slightly on the messy side. Everything worked pretty well on the ground. It's only a minor taxi delay getting out to the runway to depart from Manchester. The ATC guys there did a fantastic job, as the VATSIM UK crew almost always does. I somehow had it in my head that I needed to be in heading mode off the runway to turn to the right and join the heading that would send me toward my first waypoint. And then got turned toward that waypoint and kept on going. Just straight on to a morning. You go long. Just go long. Straight to the end zone, man. And yeah, so that's how the departure got on, and then the London control had to get me sorted out and vectored back in to
Moncton Center 124.25.
rejoin the actual departure path. So I felt like a bit of an idiot there and had to
124.25.
have my hand held just for a little bit as I got sequenced back into the departure. We kind of had to take matters into our own hand as far as separation coming into the NAT track. We're on track Charlie, or we're on that Charlie, we no longer are. The Scottish controller was so swamped with Dublin departures that he really didn't have time to talk to the London overflights. I'm thinking it would have been better if they had a low sector and a high sector, but they apparently just didn't have enough ATC staffing for that, so they had one guy handling both, and the guy basically said over the channel, I think twice, London overflights, don't even talk to me. I don't have time to handle you guys. So we kind of made our own adjustments to get separation into the NAT track, and that's where we cut the stream short. And everything over the Atlantic has been fairly uneventful. We're now in Moncton Center's airspace. That next point that you see taffy is essentially right at the beginning of Boston's airspace. So we're just about to cross from Canada back into the States. You can see the beginning of the arrival path into Kennedy. Our friend Jet Pilot Cinnamon is manning Kennedy Tower, and we talked to him while we were off stream just to see how things were going there, starting to heat up, as you might expect. We checked in with our friend 757 Spy, who did a Manchester departure as well. He's headed down to Miami, so he's got quite a bit of flying left to do. So we may stop in and see how his landing in Miami goes after we get done here in New York. So Bobcat's here, Titanium Druid's here. Appreciate you guys checking in.
That's a Star Wars reference.
You can hear that the Moncton Center channel is a little bit laid back today.
Not
too much traffic. Moncton's got good staffing. They have their sector divided up into 3 or 4 subsectors, and so each controller doesn't really have too heavy of a workload. They're having kind of a chill day, and they're having some fun. We've always had some fun with the Moncton Center controllers when we've done these VATSIM across the ponds. Good bunch of guys. There are 1 or 2 planes in the air today, Titanium Druid. I'm hesitant to load up that spy because it keeps crashing, and I just don't want there to be any kind of a segmentation fault or something that might crash the sim as well. But yeah, well over 3,000 connections, well over 2,000 pilots. I think 2,500 pilots. Hey, it's been a record-setting day, as we all knew it would be. Watching it on Fantastic, yeah. Yeah, it's been record-setting, as we knew it would be. I'm pleased. I'm actually pleasantly surprised that the server infrastructure, both connection and voice, are holding up well. They seem to be holding up well. I know that the developer team, I kind of snoop in on the staff Discord, and the developer team has been working their butts off over the last month to make the resources scalable enough to handle this in anticipation. Once the news of the global public health situation kind of started to spread, and they had it in their minds that this was going to be kind of a even more than normal, stressed to the gills kind of a day, they started working overtime to get the server infrastructure upgraded and ready to go. And it's held up beautifully. I mean, there have been a few instances that I've heard of where folks were switching frequencies, but the radios were lagging behind those frequency switches, and it's the server that handles the what they call the ranging queries, like what's in range and what stations should be able to hear you and what stations shouldn't. The server that handles that math was starting to bog down, and those switches were occurring in a delayed fashion after you hit the swap button. But they've got that sorted out and scaled some additional resources to help that server out so that it could catch up, and everything seems to be working fairly smoothly. Knock on wood, as always. Ain't over till it's over. Fly it all the way to the blocks, right?
Delta 1, Moncton Center, good day. New transponder, walk.
But
3.
God bless us, I think we're doing all right. We still got about 20 minutes before we're passed into Boston airspace. I want to go ahead and show you the rest of the route here. We, you know, the west. I was saying on another stream, the westbound flights are very deceiving because you come into Canadian airspace and you think you're, almost home, right? And you're really not. You come. This was our last oceanic waypoint, 50-50, 50 north, 50 west, and then Elsier is where we exited track Charlie. And I got handed over to Moncton Center, and you can see you're in radar coverage there because we're close to landing. They have radar antennas up on land. Obviously, they don't have them over the water. So at this point, you come back into regular air traffic control. Well, you pass through Moncton Center in this vast open land of kind of nothing, and it's really just you go from Elser to Taffy. That is the only leg of this flight we're doing in Moncton space. There's no airway, just that point to that point, and that's it. That's all we're doing in Moncton space. And then once we get into Taffy, you can see we're overflying the very northern reaches of Maine here, Frenchville, Caribou, Presque Isle there. So yeah, that's at the point where we cross back into the States, very, very northern Maine. Boston will take us essentially directly down to Glens Falls VOR and then Albany VOR. Once we cross over into Albany, we hit Kingston. Oh, that's Poughkeepsie. Hold on. Where's Kingston VOR is right there. And then it's the Kingston 1 arrival into Kennedy.
United 69
We've checked ahead. We know that New York is landing on the 3-1s, which is nice.
Over 370?
Because, and by the way, if you ever wanted to do that, even though they're not in range for voice, you can kind of cheat if you know the ICAO code .ATIS. KJFK, and the ATIS code is always the ICAO of the airport _ and the word ATIS. So there's updated. It's information popping now. We'll probably update it one more time. We're still very early. We still we think we're about an hour and a half, maybe more, still out from Kennedy.
Yeah, 25 heavy. What frequency are you on prior to this?
But that's a way you can check the text ATIS if you're not in range yet of the voice ATIS. But they're landing the 3-1s, which makes it easy because it's just the ILSs, and they're departing on the left side. Hopefully most of the arrivals then on the right side. I've just kind of taken a step. We got a 50-50 shot at this point. We're either landing 3-1 left or 3-1 right. Just to be ahead of the game, I've gone ahead and put in the ILS 3-1 right into the FMC, and we've done our approach briefing already, which means we fixed the FMC route. We check and make sure that the
transponder going.
Hold on now, can't get the FMC to come up.
3304.
My button is not.
Squawk 3304.
I seem to have lost that pop-up window somehow. I've lost my pop-up windows. That's not good. Okay, my view buttons are still working, but my pop-up windows are not. Okay, that's going to make life interesting.
Delta 1, no issue. Air France 06, Moncton Center, good day. What are you direct?
Okay, I'm not sure how I did this, but let's do that. Let's unlock that window. There we go.
Could you type it, please?
All right, we're back. That was scary. All right, but we've gone to the legs page. We've checked. So here's the arrival, or the approach rather. ILS 31 right, and again, we don't know for sure that we're getting the right side. It's 50-50 shot at this point. We pick it up from Catod. If we get vectored in closer to Maldi, we can always delete that point if we need to, or just intercept it manually and join the ILS from there. But we got it programmed in from Catod, then Maldi, then Zutab, and then the runway, and then the missed approach is 1,000, and then a left turn 4,000 direct to CRI, which is Colt Neck, I believe. Yep, Colt's Neck up here. Okay, so let's just check that in the FMC, and it's 4,000, by the way, at Colt's Neck. So let's just check that through the legs page. Taffy, then GFL, then Albany, then Kingston, and then the points along the Kingston arrival. And then LaGuardia VOR, then vectors to KTOD, Maldi Zulab, 3-1 right, and then Colt's Neck, and then the hold at Colt's Neck. Oh yeah, that's Canarsie there, CRI, and then Colt's Neck is COL, and we're holding at Colt's Neck, 4,000 or above. Okay.
06, I can only do 10 minutes, sorry.
So we're all good there. Again, assuming that we get that right side. If we get the left side, we'll just rebrief. The briefing is, so we do the FMC routes and we check the legs. We do the fixed page where we put the 4-mile and 10-mile rings around the airport. That just helps us make sure we're configured for approach and landing by certain times. We've checked the forecast cloud cover and winds, which were part of the ATIS. The cloud cover is broken at 3,400, broken at 8,000. So we should be well below those layers by the time we approach the field, which is very nearly sea level. I forget what the actual height above sea level is of Kennedy Airport, but it's like, it's like a dozen feet, something, 13 feet sea level. So essentially zero for all intents and purposes. So we'll be well below those cloud layers.
Aircraft calling, what's the call time?
Altimeter 3001 now. I think that's one lower than what I have set, so we'll get that preset in here. And again, that may change by the time we get there, but we'll just be ready for with the information we have now.
Terminal 420.
And the wind, 350 at 5. So for a 3-1, it's just very, very slight right to left. It's mostly down the center line, but a very, very slight right to left. We probably won't even notice that. But definitely want to check those things, as you are setting up for your approach. Steve says, try to use XPilot to watch the incoming traffic, but XPilot keeps freezing. Yeah, there's a lot of traffic. I don't know what to say about the freeze. Maybe, Steve, you may be able to get into the plugin settings, plugins menu in XPilot, and then lower the number of drawn airplanes a bit, and that may help you. I'm not sure what it defaults to, but that might be a way to help you out. The VREF speeds are set. You can see it's in the bottom of the display there. Flaps 25 for landing at 158 knots. That's a little faster than we're used to. We've got quite a bit of extra fuel set up in this plane. We have enough fuel to hold for 45 minutes, or hold for 30 minutes, plus 45-minute final reserve, plus divert all the way to Miami. Not that I planned to divert to Miami, but I wanted to have that much fuel just in case the holding got out of hand. And we don't know. I don't know what the traffic situation is coming into New York, so we'll have to see what we get. But we've got enough fuel to make it to Miami, just in case we do need to divert. And again, I think we would probably divert to Dulles or something like that, but we've got enough fuel for definitely an extra couple of hours of holding if we run into a situation where we need it. So that ought to give us plenty of options, but it does mean that our VREF speed for landing is a little higher than we're used to at 158 knots down final. 158 knots over the numbers, it'll be that plus 5 down final, so 163 will be the final approach speed, will be the V approach speed. We've got the minimums set. The minimums listed on the chart are down here, which is 212 feet mean sea level for a straight-in ILS 3-1 right. And this one sets it in increments of 10, so you just go to the next highest. You don't round to the closest, you go to the next highest for your minimums. you don't want to set a value in there that's lower than the minimums. So next tie is 220. That is set, and that's good to go. And then the last piece is the auto brake, which is set to 2. We just eyeball that. It's a nice long runway, but we're taxiing just to show you. So one of the cool things that we're doing today, as we're booked in as Clipper 105, which is an homage to Pan American Airways. We're landing 31 right. It is 10,000 foot runway, so it's a nice long runway. Pan Am Worldport no longer exists, but it used to be right here, Terminal 3. Okay, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 4. Terminal 3, there is no Terminal 3 right now. They demolished it in, I think 2013 is when it came down.
It's a little bit quiet.
But we're going to go to the vast parking lot, and I was looking to see if there was an FSX scenery add-on that would reinstate the Pan Am Worldport there, the Terminal 3 at Kennedy. And I did not find one. There may be one. I didn't find it. But, so we'll see. There will be a parking lot there. But that's where we're going to go. We're going to go to, when they ask us where we're parking, we'll say Pan Am Worldport, Terminal 3. And if that confuses them, we'll just say we're going to the space between Terminals 2 and 4, north of Taxiway Lima Lima. Is how we'll say that. So that's how we'll handle that. But again, because we're going down to that side now, again, I don't know. I suppose we could taxi around the back of the terminal. But because we're going that way, and I kind of figured we'll make a turnoff here at Delta or Whiskey, we definitely will be making a left-hand turnoff, so we know that. And then probably Alpha around, I would think. Probably Alpha around, if I had to guess, to the space where Terminal 3 used to be. No drama, asks Downwind Sim. No, other than the little goof up that I made departing out of Manchester, which I think we already talked about. I kind of went straight on, like the football play. The one kid. This is a Bill Cosby joke. The one kid that can't catch. You're just like, go long. You go long. Well, that was me. I was just like straight on to the morning, and eventually they got me sorted out and merged back in with my filed path.
4555, welcome back.
Everything was all good, and no drama while we were off stream. Everything's been pretty hunky-dory after that. We kind of took matters into our own hands for separation coming into the NAT track, just because the controllers were a little bit overwhelmed, so we kind of did our own thing and gave ourselves some separation. But we're all good, and came out of the NAT track. We do have an aircraft that's a few thousand feet below us. We got 2,400 feet of separation. So we'll let our Moncton controller sort that out before he hands us over to Boston, or else maybe he's going somewhere else and it won't be an issue as we get over to Boston. But no drama. Everything's good. Servers have held up just fine. Everything's been, knock on wood, everything's held up wonderfully. So.
Yeah, 645 Moncton Center, good day. New transponder code, sir, walk 3314.
But anyway, yeah, so we've kind of just briefed the approach to 3-1 right. We know that if Kennedy is arriving the 4s or the 1-3s, they have some different approaches. They have some RNAV approaches that come in kind of offset from the center line. So you can't just fly straight in ILS on those. But 3-1s come in over the water, and you can kind of just come straight. So just as plain old ILS, as long as the landing direction doesn't change at Kennedy. And of course, our good friend jet pilot Cinnamon's working Kennedy Tower today, so we may be talking to him once we get down. Coming up now, 80 miles. 80 miles to
Boston Center,
the waypoint Taffy, which is our signal to be handed from Moncton over to Boston. So we'll need to be able to listen out for our call sign and get that handoff coming up.
124.25. 124.25 black at 617. Delta 686 Boston Center, 124.25. 124.25 for Delta 687. Have a good one. Have a good one.
2425, that's not necessarily the same sector we're going to be handed off to, but just in case it is, we'll be ready. 2425 is what he said.
United 69 check standby. United 69, yeah, 5 minutes over.
Okay, check you with that.
Kind of right over top of. He's now veering off to the left, so he may be going to some other entry point into Boston, and separation would no longer be an issue then. Yeah, he clearly got a turn there or something. Turn or a different route he's going to. It does make you realize, like, as many aircraft as VATSIM has in the skies right now, and along this corridor, it's rivaling real-world capacities. It really is a huge, big empty sky, and you don't see a lot of people, like, immediately around you. And I've always marveled at that across the pond. It's like there's mass chaos, and there's thousands of planes up, and, you know, really, once you get in a nice, even stream, you might see one buddy or two that you kind of follow the whole way. We did our Boston to Dublin in the fall, and we followed the one Delta guy like the entire day. We literally took off behind him, and I think we literally landed behind him, or we landed within minutes of him. We don't have any traveling buddies with us today. I think it's been kind of a mix and match as we go.
Delta 1 back.
Oh, Titanium says his latest batch of beer is done fermenting, so the keezer can be turned back into a freezer. Well, I would have thought you would celebrate that fact for a different reason than getting your freezer back, but okay. You know, celebrate your victories where you can find them. Alright, 50 miles from Taffy now. We expect that handoff coming
016,
any moment.
Center.
Oh, and by the way, I've totally been surprised. I don't think any of them, any controller. Well, I think we know. I take it back. We did have one controller. Was it on the ground at Manchester, or was it the tower controller, Papa Alpha Alpha? I think it was one of the ground controllers called us Papa Alpha Alpha. Pretty much everybody else has been consistently calling us Clipper 105.
3016 Moncton Center, squawk 3316.
And the guys that are on the channel that don't know, Clipper is the spoken call sign that goes with this this here, Papa Alpha Alpha 105. This is what we're logged on as today. That's the old Pan American Airways call sign. Now, of course, I'm showing in my own sim. I'm showing as a United. As I explained at the very beginning of the day, though, I have all of my configurations as far as, like, not kicking the autopilot off when the yoke moves, and the first officer call-outs, and what other little, the way the barrel knob spins. Yeah, there's all these little options with the PMDG that you can customize. And, oh, there's our buddy over there. When you do that, though, it only saves it for that single airframe. And each different livery is considered a different airframe. Now, there's a way to copy those settings over from one to another, but I'm not well versed enough in the PMDGs to know how to do that. So I just basically fly the same United livery all the time because I know I have it set up the way I like it. And I know that if I bump my yoke, or if the yoke just gets shaky because it's old and crappy, it's not going to continually kick my autopilot off. So I just fly this United livery all the time, even though I'm logged on as something else. And most of the time, on VATSIM, they're looking at, as far as how they determine, how other players determine what model to represent you as, they're looking at the call sign that you're logged on as. They have no idea what livery you've chosen for your own plane. They just know what call sign you're logged on as. So that's what determines how you look to other players, for the most part. There's some intricacies involved with that. But for the most part, the fact that I'm signed on as PAA probably means I'm showing up as a generic white to most, because I don't think there's a Pan Am livery for the 744. in most people's model sets. I don't think the Pan Am actually ever flew the 744. I think they flew the 74 100 and 200 variants. NZK is here. NZK, thanks very much for checking in, saying hi from United 998. That's not the one that's just to the left of it, is it? It was a United flight over there. I don't remember which one, though. But hello, and thanks for stopping in just to say hi. We're getting ready to start our descent into Kennedy in just a little bit here. Here's the United. Oh, that's you. So we'll wave at you. Hey, very good. Nice to see you, man. All right, well, thanks for checking in. So you're getting ready to start your descent into your arrival airport also, presumably, unless you're going someplace like Miami. And you might have a little ways yet. Oh, you're going into Newark. Okay, so you got a non-booked slot. Very cool. All right, well, we'll basically be following you in, it seems like, then. Very cool. Well, thanks for stopping in. Mostly on this channel, we do general aviation. If you know what slant alpha means as far as the FAA codes, you know that means we do most of our flying with just the radio navigation. We don't typically do a lot of FMCs and airliners here on this channel. Mostly general aviation with all radio navigation. And generally on Monday and Friday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully you'll stop in and check us out again, man. But a pleasure to have you stop by today when we're doing something a little different for us, which is the old airliners. The PMDG 744. On the FSX installation today, we do most of our GA stuff over on X-Plane, but my PC is just not hot and heavy enough to run the Zibo or any of the airliners on X-Plane. It just kind of bogs down a little too much. It bogs down on X-Plane too, on FSX too, to some extent, and I'm sure we'll see it. We'll see some pretty stuttery action when we get into Kennedy. But on FSX, that does not affect your forward ground speed, so it doesn't really matter as much. Makes it a little difficult to fly, but and can make things challenging from a controller standpoint because you're struggling with the aircraft. But it doesn't slow down time for you. So it's not as big a challenge for the controllers as the X-Plane frame rate issue, which means that they're not at 100% sim rate. So.
And that is back.
So that's why when we fly airliners on this channel, we do it with FSX.
Check.
The old Millennium Falcon PC can still kind of hold together.
United 998, Boston Center 124.25.
So 2425 is what he just got. There's our friend. NZK, there you go. And 2425 is what we assume we'll get, so we've already preset that
United 69 Heavy,
COM 1 standby.
Center 132.8.
But you never know. We're going on a slightly different path, it seems like, so never quite know if we're going to end up in the same sectors.
Clipper 105, Boston Center 124.25.
2425, Clipper 105, thanks. There you go.
It's 8232, contact the 8732, contact the Boston Center 128.05.
128.05, see ya. United 8732.
Yeah. Boston Center, United 998 Heavy,
United 998 Heavy, Boston, good afternoon.
Boston Center, Clipper 105 Heavy, also checking in level 360.
Always great to see a Clipper in my airspace. Clipper 105, Boston Center, good afternoon.
Yeah, we're bending history though. We're flying a 744.
At that.
All right, who are we talking to? Just
United 953, contact the Montreal Center.
2425. I know most of these guys. Boston ARTCC, Boston Virtual ARTCC. They are the organizers of Flight Sim Expo, and formerly Flight Sim Con. So I've met most of these guys at one event or another. Just trying to figure out who I'm talking to on 2425. Okay, that one. Oh, well, I know who that guy is. That's the former head of VATSIM USA division that we're talking to. The illustrious. So yeah, I've met him a number of times.
American 81, contact the Montreal Center 123.902. So on.
And now that I hear it, now that I know who it is, I can hear it. You know what I mean? A lot of the voices, they sound similar over the radio, but as soon as you know
Canada 875, Montreal Center 123.9.
as soon as you can put
so long.
a face to a name.
123.902, Air Canada 875, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
American 81, contact the Montreal Center 123.902, so long.
There's our turn from Taffy. Heading down toward that VOR whose name I don't remember. So, yeah, here was Taffy up here. And, GFL, what was it? Glens Falls, there we are. Kept thinking Great Falls, but I'm like, that's not anywhere near here. Bump the map range back up, or? Yeah, starting to see a little bit of too much clutter at that zoom range. So we'll bump it down one, but we still have a nice, long, uninterrupted leg through Boston that we're flying from Taffy to Glens Falls. And where did our United friend get to? He's ahead and to our left. It's probably right through that pedestal. I'll tell you what, maybe we can go back to this view. Oops. Spin it around.
United 1080, Moncton Center, good afternoon. Descend and maintain flight level 360.
Lost sight of him. It might be just a touch too far away at this point.
And Wilson, home, Boston.
Moncton Center, good afternoon. Speed pressure 25, flight level 460.
Divert 295, Boston Center, good afternoon. Reset transponder, squawk 4713.
4713,
We just got a little choppy there for a second. Hopefully the server will
Shamrock
still hold
37
up.
Tango, contact the Boston Center 128.05, so long.
128.05, Shamrock 37 Tango.
Today, American 81, contact the Boston, or correction, Montreal Center 123.902, so
And
long.
what's our,
123.902,
Yeah,
let's see.
just make sure I heard that correctly, 123.902.
once we get onto the Kingston arrival here,
KLM 617, contact the Boston Center 128.05, so long.
200 at Lally,
So
probably.
686, contact the Boston Center 128.05, so long. Okay, everyone listen up, KLM 617, Boston Center 128.05, so long. 128.05, so about that, KLM 617.
So we'll wait for our instructions.
128.05, cover 686, have a good one.
These are expect. You don't want to put them into the FMC until you're actually given them by the controller. But it does mean that we
295 Boston, radar contact 25
have a
miles
ways to
east
go
of
yet,
Prescott,
really,
flight level
honestly, before we
400,
need to start
welcome aboard.
descending.
Roger,
FMC is still saying around 245. The ETA slipped from about 225 to 245. What's it saying now? 1947 Zulu there. So I'm starting to say, yeah, probably about 4 o'clock, but it's slipped back consistently. When we cut the stream off this morning, it was saying 1926, I think. And then I think the progress bar at the top, of course the progress bar at the top doesn't know anything about our routing. It's kind of going by a direct, so you know that's gonna naturally slip back, and of course it's also gonna change when you start slowing for your arrival. So it's a nice
I don't
tool
think so, but
to estimate.
Try and check in with Boston that I did not acknowledge.
But the ETA is going to definitely tend to slip back on that progress bar up top as well. So that progress bar is saying what? It's saying 1938.
51 Heavy, Boston Center, good afternoon.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be closer to 2000 Zulu, closer to 4 o'clock by the time we get settled in on our approach, get vectored around, make the intercept, and touchdown. And, of course, we got a few minutes to taxi into the gate as well, depending on which side of the airport we land on. 3-1 left, actually, would be the much more advantageous arrival for taxi into Terminal 3. Take 6 is back with us. Take 6, appreciate you stopping back in. Yeah, so we did some channel surfing. We stopped in with 757 Spy, and we checked in with Jet Pilot Cinnamon, who is very likely going to be our tower controller at Kennedy.
7 Juliet Kilo, contact the Boston Center, 128.05. So
some of our streaming friends.
128.05, direction.
But hopped on just about a half an hour ago to resume the adventure, and we expect a little ways yet before we start to descend.
Probably no factor, but traffic here 9 o'clock, 3 miles. Be slightly crossing from your left to right. Restricted.
Take6 has been checking in on Jet Pilot's stream as well. Yeah, I like watching the air traffic control streams. The guys the good ATC
49, contact the Boston Center,
streamers are the ones who explain what's going on
128.05
as they do it, because otherwise sometimes on those screens they've got so many little lines and squiggles all over, you don't really know what you're looking at. So the really good guys that do the ATC streaming, and Ground Point Niner is one, that he's real good about kind of taking the time when he's got a moment between transmissions to just kind of explain who's doing what and what the different lines on the scope mean, and what the different and Ground Point Niner is great as far as like explaining some of the separation rules, why you have to intercept certain approaches a certain way, and why you have to intercept parallels at least 1,000 feet apart, and stuff like that. So it gets really busy. Sometimes they don't have that much time. Well,
very good.
We got a speed bird inside up here.
074 heavy,
level 320. On X-Plane, I turned the labels off. I've been tempted to do that in FSX as well. Speedbird,
74
who is it?
Boston, good
295.
as well.
But it's kind of nice to know who is who as far as what friends are around you.
If possible, I would
I debate doing that on X-Plane as well.
Sure, would you prefer
especially in our group events, it's kind of nice to know who's who sometimes. But I don't know, when I do X-Plane nowadays, I
Chicago 462, contact the Moncton
like
Center,
the more realistic look of not having that floating text in the window. So we'll leave it as is for now.
Take 380, first 9074 heavy.
Canadian Heavy 9074 heavy, climb maintain play level 3.
So Take6 asks, does VATSIM show the other liveries? That's a complicated question. It's your pilot client program that handles representing the other players. So with FSX and P3D, there's several different pilot clients you can use. VPilot's the one I'm using here.
Power 105, traffic at 12 o'clock, 7 miles, crossing left to right, restricted above you, flight level 400, heavy 777, caution white turbo.
Clipper 105, got him inside. So in my case, I use this one called VPilot, and there is a model set for VPilot that is called FLAI. It's actually also put together by these very same Boston Virtual ARTCC members. That is a massive collection of different aircraft types and liveries that downloads and updates. They have an updater for it, so when additional liveries are added, you just run that updater and it takes care of adding to your collection. So on the VPilot side, it's really good, and you typically don't see too many instances where you're seeing somebody as something they're not. The exceptions would be if someone is logged on as an Airbus, but they've got a call sign that says SWA or RYR, Southwest or Ryanair. Southwest and Ryanair, we got some more fuel tank warnings here. What's going on? Okay, we're at the point now where the tanks are balanced. So we want to go ahead and shut those outer cross feeds off now. There we go. It's happy. See, I'm far from an expert on how the fuel system on the 74 is supposed to be configured and kept up. But my general rule is if the ECAS is yelling at me, then I'd mess with it until it doesn't. Fake it till you make it, I think someone said earlier. So anyway, yeah. The only time I see something that's not matching up with it's like a generic, or that sometimes they'll just throw like a random liveried A320 in there, is if someone's on is like something that doesn't exist, like an A320 in Southwest color, something like that. For X-Pilot, there is a model set called Bluebell, and you do need to download it. By the way, Take6, on my YouTube channel, I've got a tutorial for installing and configuring X-Pilot, and it includes this step. If you want to go to the YouTube channel, not now necessarily, but YouTube links on the lower left, and I've got a playlist that's called tutorials, and it's got 5 or 6 in there. One of them is a setup tutorial for X-Pilot. The client has changed a little bit since that tutorial was published, but not too much, and the substantial steps are all the same. But the Bluebell model set gets you a reasonably decent collection of aircraft and liveries, and it's not as comprehensive as FLAI's. Oh, you got the World Traffic 3, okay. So the only thing you got to be careful about for World Traffic 3, yeah, any kind of collection that you have in there, so you really the only thing you got to do then is go into XPilot under the settings, the plugin settings within Xplane, and point it to the directory where you have those models installed. Now I've heard that it doesn't work unless you have those models in a folder under your resources and plugins
Boston,
XPilot
good
folder.
afternoon. Would you like
so if you're not seeing those, sometimes that can be an issue.
I can give you 340, 360, 380, or 400 today.
But as long as you put them in there into a folder under the XPilot plugin folder, and you put a setting in to the in-app setting that points it to it, it should pick them up and it should use them as appropriate. Model matching on VATSIM is not a perfect science. It's far from a perfect science. So there will definitely be instances where you see somebody represented as something, wildly different than what they really are intending to be. But it's one of the things that that you deal with, and it stems from the fact that there's, 4 or 5 different simulators that you can use on VATSIM. So the cross compatibility, between all those different simulators, it does sacrifice some of those imperfections as far as model matching goes.
Looks like 212, 13, climb, maintain flight level 340.
Boston speaker 295 is
yes, take 6 says, so those are CLS packages, it's CSL, not CLS, CSL, so if you're trying to Google it, you definitely want to put the, CSL, the S before the L. Common Shape Library is what it stands for, in case anybody cares at all. In case that knowledge is useful to any of you on the channel, which I'm guessing it's not. But, Common Shape Library. So that's what it is. It's a library of shapes that are commonly repeated in the sim.
And Speedbird 295, will you be able to receive voice or text only both ways?
But yeah, so what I've done, take 6, is I've got the Bluebells installed. Let's see if I can do this. I'll show you my Xplane directory here. That's just I just have it as a root under my C drive, Xplane 11, and then I got resources and plugins and XPilot.
United 1080 contact from Montreal Center 123.9 or 2.
The other one called resources again, and then here's CSL. So you'll see like all the ones that start with BB are the Bluebell ones, but then you can see there's a bunch of others. Now Jets and Props, these two, they came with X Squawk Box, and I just copied them over, and so now I have some additional, models to match with. But then, in addition to that, there's some individual ones. This is one that our friend Coffee Bassey likes to fly on our bush flights. The Boeing 727 obviously is it's become popular on Xplane because of the FlyJ Sim model. So a lot of people are flying the 727. So we've found an individual. So most of these are like individual CSLs here. I guess I'll unselect those.
Scandinavian 9074 Saker,
so you
indicating 365.
You can kind of add to the collection as you go, if that makes any sense. And really the beauty of it is, as long as you just drop these in here into this folder, this XPilot Resources CSL, there's nothing else you need to do. It'll just start seeing them and using them as it encounters planes of those types. So fairly easy as far as adding to your collection.
Climb to 390 for Scandinavian 9074.
Okay, I guess you can do that. Scandinavian 9074 negative, sir. If I was going to give you something, I'd hold you at 370. Maintain flight level 370 for now.
Okay, maintain 370, Scandinavian 9074.
I think before we get to the point...
59, disregard.
Before we get to the point where we need to start...
United 59, are you even on frequency?
Setting up our arrival. I think we'll see if we can jump out of the...
59, yes, we are still there. Sorry about that. Did you have any instructions for me?
I did 3 times, but now it's irrelevant. Maintain flight level 380.
Sorry about that, United 59.
Yeah, just be aware, sir. I did have to move somebody for you, so if you could just keep an ear on the frequency, that'd be great. Thanks.
Sorry, I just have to respond to something else here real quick. Really sorry it won't happen again, United 59.
Yep, no problem. Thanks.
Center Clipper 105 Heavy. Were we able to jump out for about 5 minutes?
You can make that request with the next controller. He just picked up the handoff. Clipper 105. Contact the Boston Center now. 128.054.
2805. We'll make that request with him. Thanks. See ya. Clipper 105 Heavy.
Welcome.
2805. Probably went the long way
Scandinavian
around.
9070.
Boston Center Clipper 105 Heavy. Level 360.
Clipper 105 Boston.
And I hate to say hello and goodbye in the same breath, but are we able to step out for about 5 minutes?
Standby.
Alright.
Giant 8732, contact Boston 128.32.
And just in case, he's got any separation issues.
617 direct Kennebuck to and that Kennebuck road to San Juan.
Sorry, Kennebuck, and it's the Ocean Park Arrival, KLM 617.
FedEx 7 Juliet Kilo, contact Boston 128.32.
It's giving us a traffic alert, but I think it says it's well below us. Yeah, 10,000 feet below us. Not going to worry about that. Yeah, the TCAS is a little funky sometimes with wildly different altitudes.
KLM. American 117, contact Boston 128.32.
128.32, I'm making 117. Thank you.
KLM 67.
Guess I'm working against myself. I'm waiting to get permission to go to the bathroom
13495, KLM 617.
while I continue to sip on that Red Bull, just making matters worse.
Good afternoon, KLM 6.
Shamrock 37 Tango, turn right heading 300.
Right 300, Shamrock 37 Tango.
Just while we got a minute, let's just, are we able to pick up Kennedy's ATIS just yet? No? Okay. We'll do it the cheat way again, just to see if anything's changed. KJFK _ ATIS. That's still Papa, so nothing's changed. Okay.
Delta 686, contact Boston 134.905. 134.95, Delta 686.
We're getting to the point where we're going to need to duck out to the bathroom whether he likes it or not. I don't want to bother him, I know he's busy. You hear these long... You hear these long breaks between transmissions, and you're like, oh, the controller's not that busy, but there's all kinds of stuff that they're doing while they're not necessarily talking on frequency. Try to be respectful of that. But I know that by the time I get up to there, I'm really not going to have time to... So our current top of descent is right there at Kingston VOR. That will probably change once we enter the crossing restriction that we're given for our descent. Probably will become earlier. But it does look like descent is within sight. Oh, we got traffic crossing at Jazzy. Crossing below us. Yeah, wouldn't have seen him without the red label. That's one of the nice things about having those labels.
Shamrock 37 Tango, continue left heading.
Left 330, Shamrock 37 Tango.
Shamrock 9249, fly present heading for space. I'll get this turned back.
Sorry, present heading for Shamrock 9249.
Affirmative. Shamrock 37 Tango, yeah, best forward speed if you could do Mach 8 now.
Yeah, so what he's clearly got going on there is a separation issue that he's got to resolve, so that's why he's not really able to focus on our request to step out.
Shamrock 37 Tango, continue left turn heading, or continue left direct Kennebuck, I couldn't remember correctly.
Once he gets both of these guys back direct to their next waypoint, then hopefully it'll be resolved, and I'll jump in and see if I can get that approved for
Shamrock 37 Tango, at Kennebuck, join the Ocean 5 arrival.
approval to jump out here.
Join Ocean 5, Shamrock 13 Tango.
Yeah, 781 contact Montreal now, 123.902.
123.902, just 782.
Titanium is asking, is there anyone else old enough to be familiar with hanging onions in pantyhose? And you've gone over my head with that one, Titanium Drew. At least I don't remember the reference. Center Clipper 105, just reiterating our request to step out if able, please.
Clipper 105, approved no greater than 5 minutes.
It'll be less, thanks. Clipper 105.
Shamrock 9249, turn left direct to Kennebuck on course.
Left direct to Kennebuck on course, that's Echo November Echo confirmed, Shamrock 9249.
Actually, Shamrock 9249, I want to build a little bit more space for you. Just turn left heading 140.
Left heading 140, Shamrock 9249.
Shamrock 37 Tango, contact to Boston 134.905.
134.905, Shamrock 37 Tango.
Alright, back with you guys. Catch up on the chat in just a second. Center Clipper 105, back with you. So Jeffrey says, probably old enough, but don't have any idea what you're talking about. Yeah, that's kind of how I answered it. Titanium says, keeps them fresher longer. Gramps lived through the Depression, finding some of his old tips are coming in handy lately. Oh, my goodness. Interesting. I've not ever heard that one. Yeah, so anytime the map starts to get cluttered on the top end is basically my cue to bump it down to the next map range. Of course, every time we do that, then we see like nothing here, so.
Shamrock 9249, turn right to correct Kennebunk. That's Echo November Echo at Kennebunk, going to Star Road.
Roger, Kennebunk, Echo November Echo, and that Echo November Echo, journey Ocean Father level, Shamrock 249.
Shamrock 1P would be flight level 240.
Shamrock 13, Boston, welcome.
Boston, very good evening, Scandinavian 90.
Starting to kind of feel like starting the stream at 3, like my original plan. Wouldn't have been such a bad thing. Now is when it should start to pick up. The action should start to pick up a little bit, though. And just to reiterate for those joining in that didn't pick us up right at 2 Eastern Time, that is, we have set up and briefed the ILS 31 right into Kennedy. We know that they're landing on the 31s, which makes it a little easier because it's just the standard ILS approaches. If they were landing 4s or 13s, then they have some different RNAV approaches or VOR approaches that you have to do because the approach paths are offset from the center line on those. So the fortunate news is that landing on the 31s makes it a little bit more straightforward from a inexperienced airline pilot standpoint. So it's basically just a straight up ILS, which I've gotten a little more experience in setting those up in these airliners, not so much with the RNAV approaches or the non-precision approaches in the FMC. So it makes it a little easier. 2832, Clipper 105. So it makes it a little easier if they continue to land on the 31s, because we know we're getting just an ILS approach. 50-50 shot, whether it's left or right side, so I've set up the 3-1 right ILS. 3-1 left is actually a little more advantageous as far as where we want to land, where we want to taxi to, rather. Boston Center, Clipper 105 Heavies, level at 360.
Clipper 105, Boston Center, welcome.
So,
American 829, turn 30 degrees left, vector for sequence, maintain Mach point 77.
30 degrees left and Mach 77, American 829.
so 3-1 left would be probably the more advantageous one taxi-wise. The FMC, though, is currently set up for the 3-1 right. We know that the FMC route is set up, and we got the missed approach verified in the legs page. And Chef Pilot has stopped in to say hi. Chef Pilot, hey, appreciate you stopping in here, man. It's VATSIM Across the Pond Day, as you may be aware. And we are flying into John F. Kennedy International Airport as Clipper 105 Heavy. We're a Pan Am 747. We're cheating history a little bit. We're a 747-400 rather than the 1s and 2s that they used to fly. But you got to take a little liberty somewhere. But yeah, we're coming into John F. Kennedy. We're over Boston Center's airspace right now, talking to them. Not a whole lot going on, just getting ready to start our descent and arrival into Kennedy. Yeah, the old Clipper call sign, PAA, Pan American Airways. Just like Speedbird, just like BAW is somehow pronounced Speedbird, PAA is pronounced Clipper. That's an homage back to the very beginnings of Pan American, where they used the flying boats as their main modes of transportation. So normally here we're general aviation stream. We're on Mondays and Friday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time usually. We don't do a lot of airliner flying on the channel. It's mostly focused on radio navigation techniques, the old school VORs and analog ILSs and stuff like that. Don't do much with FMCs or GPSs here. But every now and then I decide to dust off some old brain cells and see if I remember how to fly these big old things. And VATSIM Across the Pond is definitely the one exception to my normal policy of avoiding long-haul flights at all costs.
132.17,
Across the Pond is always a fun event. It's the one day that I will sit in my computer all day long. Usually involves some sort of bargaining chip with the wife, but we'll talk about that another time. Yeah, Chef Pilot, I don't know if you're on VATSIM or not, or familiar with the Across the Pond event, but it's madness. And I'll see if I can even do that. I'm probably taking my stream into my own hands here. I don't even see, oh, that's why, there we are. We'll see if we can even start this thing. This app is tending to melt today because of the levels of traffic. But yeah, you can see on VATSIM now. Oh my God, look at that throng of traffic that's coming across from Europe into the United States today.
American 829 reset transponder squawk 4742.
And at the bottom you can see 2,973 total connections to the VATSIM network. I know earlier today we definitely set a new connection record on VATSIM.
8164 Moncton Center, welcome.
So, yeah, it's been a record-setting day, that's for sure. Of course, a lot of folks are home that wouldn't ordinarily be home.
154, contact Washington Center 125.45.
Across the pond is always a record-setting day for VATSIM. But this one's been just like
125.45.
125.45, look at the express.
cranked up 150%.
American
for sure.
117, same Mach number.
Yeah, that's a lot of blue to ski, Jeffrey.
117 at 0.88.
American 117 reduced to Mach 0.81, then descend and maintain flight level 310.
Reduced to 0.81 and then flight level 310, American 117.
So yeah, I'm thinking our touchdown at Kennedy going to be pretty close to 4 o'clock. But yeah, like I said, we
American
did brief the 31 right approach.
in the Gulf November.
And we have it set up in the FMC. We've got the minimums dialed in. We got the auto brake set to 2. Just kind of eyeballed that. I don't run performance numbers like a true airline captain should. I kind of eyeball that. Of course, I'm told by some real-world pilots that they kind of eyeball the auto brake settings too. The auto brake settings, they say, don't really matter that much. They're just like, well, we pretty much just manually brake until we get to the turnoff we want. So. But anyway, so yeah, like I said, I mean, I try to do this fairly realistically, but there's certainly some procedures that we water down just a touch.
Noted 998 Boston Center, roger. Noted 829, increased speed at 290. American 829, affirmative, increased speed at 290.
Speed to 290, American 829.
American 829, contact Boston Center 123.75.
123.75 for American 829.
Giant 8732, descend and maintain flight level 240, maintain 280 knots.
280 knots and 240 for Giant 8732.
American 117, descend and maintain flight level 240, maintain 280 knots.
Descend and maintain flight level 280, maintain 280 knots.
And I got a flight level 240,
and if you missed it, yeah, take 6 on my Papa Alpha Alpha 105. Yes, that is me. Flying is Pan American Airways 105. Just a little nod to history. Now they would that call sign 105 would have been a Heathrow to Kennedy back in the day. It wouldn't have been a Manchester to Kennedy. But again, we're taking a few historical liberties, no problem. The old Pan Am Worldport, Terminal 3, was in this area here. It's no longer there. It's a vast open parking lot. However, that is where we're going to park today, just as a nod to the history of it. Now, I was looking for a scenery plug-in that would put that terminal back in my scenery. I did not find one. I'm sure there is one out there. I just did not find it. But as it stands now, we're set up for the 3-1 right approach. We got auto brake set to 2, so we hope to turn off probably like around Whiskey if we do things well. And then we expect it's probably Alpha around the terminal.
117 cleared with Kingston in your Gulf November.
Probably. We don't know that for sure. If we end up, we're going to be kind of fast and heavy. We may end up rolling this thing down longer. We may end up down near the end, in which case we might end up taxiing around. If we turn off down here,
Moncton Center, good evening.
we might end up taxiing around the back end of the terminal. Who knows? We'll see what happens. The one thing to know, though, it's definitely a left-hand turnoff, so that much we will know as we make our approach in. And again, if we happen to get the 3-1 left instead of 3-1 right, we'll rebrief. I'm just kind of flipping a coin on which runway we're going to get at this point. So we'll see what happens. But we can actually, you know what we can do?
37 heavy with you, flight level 430.
We'll just pull up the ILS 31 left also, just to have it here.
American 9,
In case we got to switch it up.
What's your position?
We'll go through that.
We are 172 miles from...
Fantastic, super slow to load, switching to VATSIM. Well, the thing that you don't want to do on VATSIM, Al,
Burlington.
do not hover. As a matter of fact,
American
you want to
937.
probably disable this little box up top that says show arrived and departs, because when you hover over one,
528, cross at the dot at the maintain 1000.
it crashes the app. Hover over one that's like 30, 40, 50 planes, sometimes it crashes the app. So if you just disable that box there, that way you won't accidentally hover over one and crash your app out.
Boston Rickard 5634 51320.
Rickard 5634 Boston Center. Right.
So yeah, there's me, kind of in the center, the north
American
center
117 coming Boston
Boston's
Center,
airspace.
123.75 today.
And who's that's cockpit builders over there, right?
American 117.
American 117 FM.
Oh no,
Boston
341
Center,
Alpha. That's not.
123.75.
That's Northwest Orient over there.
123.75 American 1.
Yeah, it's like cockpit builders is 38 Alpha Kilo. United 441. That's 757 Spy. We checked in with him earlier.
8 Golf Kilo expects to cross Harbor.
Yeah, he's heading down to Miami, so he's on this really low southern track here, heading down to Miami Airport. And there we are. So we'll definitely start to see things heat up as we start to get pointed toward our arrival.
1023 Boston Center right here. Jet 456, connect Boston Center 123.75.
12375 for Jasper 5.
Yeah, so we got
Boston Center
aircraft that was just added to our scenario because
634, hello Boston Center right here.
yeah, he just got into drawing range. Whoops. So
You with 68 Golf Kilo Boston.
we always tend to get the traffic alerts when they're just added to the drawing range, even when they're well below us, but nothing to worry about.
You with 68 Golf Kilo.
Al, so as Al's asking about the number of overall connections, that number that you're looking at, Al, is not a record, but a number that we hit earlier today most certainly is. I don't know, they'll publish official numbers at the end, and of course remember that controllers that are also running an ATIS, they connect twice, and supervisors who are also controlling, they connect 2 and then maybe then up to 3 times. So they always count the unique connections, which is slightly lower than the number that you'll get by looking at the total number of connections in VATSIM, for example. But yes, it's definitely been a record-setting day, absolutely 100%. Well over 3,000 earlier on. And the server infrastructure, the radio frequency switching was a little laggy earlier, but
We'll maintain
they got that under control. They scaled up some resources to get that back under control. But the server infrastructure, as far as I know, as I've kind of been keeping half an eye on the VATSIM staff Discord and other communications that have come out, other information on Twitter and other sources like that, everyone seems to be saying that the infrastructure seems to be holding up fairly well. Yeah, Al's looking at the numbers at the bottom of VATSIM. 2,500 and some odd pilots, almost 300 controllers, 74 ATISs, 79 observers. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, some of those represent one user connecting more than once, so that's why total number of connections, total number of unique connections is less than that 2,998. But yeah, it was certainly well over 3,000 earlier, and it's absolutely been a record-setting day for VATSIM, and the infrastructure's held up pretty well. Considering the circumstances, says Al, the network seems to be holding super well, and the voice sounds very good. Absolutely, I agree 100%. I've been pleasantly surprised, Al. I was expecting there to be more server issues than what we've heard about.
Boston Center, very good day. Evening.
Again, knock on wood, we're not down yet.
For heavy, flight level 380 inbound Bravo, Alpha Fox.
Riktig god kväll, Scandinavian 9074, Boston Center right here. United 528, contact Montreal Terminal 132.85.
Alright. We're ready to crack open what we hope will be the last one.
Brickyard 5634, let's step away to the...
Brickyard 5634, sure advice back.
$200 miles to go. You think we'll be down by? Think we'll be down by 4? I think we should be. Progress bar says less than a half hour to go. I don't know that we're going to be quite down that soon.
FedEx 7, Juliet Kilo, listen to maintain for level 320.
Please maintain flight level 3, listen to FedEx 7.
And again, that progress bar at the top of the screen, it bases that ETA on your current speed and your current direct mileage to your destination. So it's going to change a little bit. You know, if you're taking some sort of a zigzaggy path to get set up on the approach, and plus you're going to be slowing down. So that's not an exact science up there, but it gives you an idea of the progress that we've made. But I would say we're definitely, unless we end up in an extended kind of hold, I think we're
contact, New York,
very likely to be wheels down by 4 o'clock. Yes, Ski Jeffrey typed it just as I was saying it. You're forgetting about the 40 minutes of holding you'll be doing starting in 15 minutes. Yeah, hopefully not. If traffic coming into New York was that bad, we would have expected to start hearing holds already.
International 233, contact Boston Center, 123.75.
That's by disabled, unstaffed, inactive, and arrived and departed counts. Yeah, that should help you be able to scroll around without accidentally crashing it. It's when you hover over the airport that's got a massive number of arrivals and departures at the airport on the ground, the little green up arrow and the red down arrow, those are the ones that crash the app out. When they get over a certain number, I don't think it's a set number, I think it depends on like the resolution of your screen or something like that. It's something to do with the way it draws the box for the number of planes.
American 937, contact Boston Center 123.75. American 937, contact Boston Center 123.75.
Every time he makes a call and nobody answers, I get nervous. I'm like, oh, was that for me? Jeffrey says, I overheard a New York meeting on another feed. They were doing nothing but talking about where to divert. Oh, God.
German Cargo 510, contact New York Center 132.17.
All right, well, we'll see how it goes.
Please take in German Cargo 510.
German Cargo 510, contact New York Center 132.17.
We can divert to Dulles if we've got to. We've got enough fuel. As I said earlier, we've got enough fuel to make Miami. I packed that much on just to make sure we had time to hold for a bit.
For heavy, is it okay with the use that I switch over to the ATIS for a moment?
Yeah, sure. Just let me know when you're back.
Will do. Thank you. Scandinavian 907 for heavy.
United 998 to center maintain flight level 240.
Down to 240, Unit 998 heavy.
Alright, there's our friend going down to 240 into Newark.
Lufthansa 627, Boston Center, Roger.
Boston Center, good afternoon. FedEx 1785 passing 180, time 230.
FedEx 1785, Boston Center, climb and maintain flight level 300.
No, 300, 1785.
Yeah, so we'll definitely see what happens when we get closer in. I kind of feel like we would start to hear about holds already if they were pushing back that hard.
Clipper 105 to center maintain flight level 320.
320, Clipper 105, any. Well, we're starting to get a descent.
Lufthansa Cargo 8164, contact New York Center 125.32. 201 there was not for Brickyard 5634. Brickyard 5634 remained its frequency. Lufthansa Cargo 8164, contact New York Center 125.32.
125.22, Lufthansa Cargo 8164.
Delta 1023, contact Washington Center 125.45.
Alright, we've officially started our descent, guys. We'll go ahead and get the seatbelts. On this plane, I always forget that that's down here.
2545, Brickyard 5634, apologies.
Oh, that's no smoking. Seatbelt sign is there. No smoking sign is typically kind of our cabin crew sign, so Cabin crew's still up and about to make that last pass through the cabin, collect trash and all that stuff. Passengers do need to return to their seats, please.
Boston 79074, respect on New York frequency.
9074.
Al says the most arrivals at the moment are Boston, Kennedy, Dulles, Chicago, and Miami. Yes, so Boston and Kennedy were part of the event. Dulles is probably the #1 divert destination, just because it's close enough. Atlanta doesn't seem to have as many. Yeah. Well, maybe we'll go there. I'm really hoping we can get down to Kennedy.
998, contact Boston Center 123.75.
I wouldn't mind having to hold a little bit if we could make it down into Kennedy without having a divert. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Thank you.
Looks like we can start maybe knocking that map
Maple
range down
7643, descend to cross Ed dot at the maintain 1000 Burns and altimeter 3000.
Boston Center, American 937 Heavy, leaving flight level 430 for 240.
Epicness is here. Epicness,
7643,
appreciate you stopping in. And Epicness is flying into San Francisco. Same controller on Edmonston's controlling us from Greenland all the way to the handoff of Salt Lake. Wow.
American 937 Heavy, descending flight level
You want to talk about epicness? There it is.
American 937,
This is an awesome event. Yeah, I don't know epicness how if you've done any of these before, but they're always a lot of fun. It's this channel's mostly a general aviation stream, but this is definitely one event that I'll fire up the airliner for. First time doing it, yeah. It's a hell of a lot of fun, man. And like I said, normally we're general aviation stream Mondays and Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern time, but this is one that I do go out of my way for. And we do occasionally bust out an airliner flight on the normal schedule, but not too often. Once every 6 weeks or so. But this is definitely an event I try to do if I can help it. This is just a big Barons this moment, Leroy. Exactly, it's a very big beach Baron. Twice as many engines.
American 937.
Go for 937.
Yeah, San Francisco has a lot of arrivals, says Al. Same with Toronto. Yeah, those were two of the other event airports, event arrivals.
Clipper 105, descend and maintain flight level 240.
240, Clipper 105. All right, down we go again.
Boston, good evening, United 510, climbing 230.
Yeah, there were 6. Can we see if we can remember the 6?
Climb 380, United
Boston, Kennedy, Toronto.
117, contact New York Center 125.3.
Miami.
Come to New York 125.3.
San Francisco. And was Chicago the other one? Was Chicago the 6th one?
Contact New York Center 125.
I feel like it was. Maybe that's why that's got that many arrivals there. I think Chicago was one. I know there were 6 of them.
12532, correction.
The views over Greenland and North Canada were priceless also. Yeah, epicness, what I was saying earlier was like, the westbound flights are very deceiving in that regard, because you get over the Atlantic, and then you get over land again, and you're like, ooh, I'm almost home. And then you realize, no, I'm really not almost home yet. There's a lot of land up here. So I get these little step descents down. Don't yet have our approach assignment. Probably not a bad time to check again with the ATIS information at New York. I always do this by text, just so otherwise you don't have to switch frequencies and listen to 2 at one time. This simulates your first officer getting the ATIS information while you're still on the main comms radio, so it's a little bit of a cheat, but remember, you would ordinarily have 2 people in this cockpit. So we are on Romeo now. Information Romeo is current. Winds are now 200 at 10. Interesting. Are they still doing 3-1? Yeah, so they decided not to flip the airspace.
Boston Center 123.75.
2375, Clipper 105 Heavy, thanks. 2375. So they've decided not to flip the airspace, even though the wind direction has definitely changed. So so that's good. We've still got a 50-50 shot, 31 left versus 31 right. Boston Center, Clipper 105 heavy, east through 287, going down 240.
And Boston Center, Double 31, confirm, can you send now?
Double 831, Double 831,
why is it stopping me at 28?
He's going to maintain 8,000, Double 831.
Clipper 105 Boston Center, hello, the center maintain follow with 200.
Down to 200, Clipper 105 heavy.
Boston Center, 27, 27,000 direct meters.
Southwest 2720 Boston.
Alright, so it's leveled me because it's trying to pull the speed down now.
Actually, kind of being flight level 190 for now.
And that's a friend of mine.
New York Center on 132.1.
So far, so good. Those don't sound like hold deck. Yeah, not yet.
Thank you for your service.
It might still be a little early.
33 contact New York Center on 132.17.
132, this will 17, you can additional DTT again.
United 998, it's going to maintain 16,000.
Let's just make sure. Let's just make sure that once it gets us down to speed, it's going to drop us. Yeah, okay, there we go. Now that it's down to the speed it wants to do, it's
and United 998,
starting to drop us.
your descent through flight level 190, please.
Expedite descent through 190.
Yeah, I bet you our friend United is probably one of these, and he wants to make sure that us coming down to 200 is not going to interfere with him coming down to 190, because he just got asked to expedite down to 190. Is this the Hudson that we're following? We're over Albany, probably is, right? Yeah, we can go VFR from here, guys. We'll just follow the Hudson River. Cancel IFR.
Southwest 2720, incoming, can follow the 230. Alaska 33, contact Boston Center 128.32.
12832, Alaska 33.
It's almost worth making the request to see how they respond, says Jeffrey. Yeah, across the pond, when they're this stressed and busy, I try not to stir the waters too much. Just fall in line and try not to mess up. Of course, I messed up out of Manchester, but that's a different story. For those of you who didn't see the stream this morning, you missed
3217, JetBlue 1317.
You missed me being an idiot. But anyway, yeah, I don't want to stir the waters here. Stir the pot too much. Try not to be memorable. That's your goal for an event like this. You don't want them to remember you, because if they remember you, it's for the wrong reasons. Insta wallop. Yeah, I would hope not. Yeah, the danger, Ski Jeffrey, is you cancel IFR, which you can't do at 240 anyway, which is, you know, just joking around, but you cancel IFR and go VFR the rest of the way, and then you try to get that Bravo entry in there, like, unable for workload.
And Silver 68 Golf Kilo, let me check in, actually contact New York Center 132.17. And
I am tempted to adjust the heading to the right and just follow the river, though.
132.17.
Another one of those phantom traffic alerts. So what we figured out is when the plane first enters the drawing range, it tends to throw off that alert even if it's well below us.
Silver 68 Golf Kilo, negative 132.17, 3217. American 937 going to Philadelphia, descend and maintain flight level 200.
Descend and maintain flight level 200 now for American 937.
United 998, descend and maintain 1010,000.
Down to 10,000.
Getting down to the nitty gritty, guys. Will all that prep I did on ILS 31 right pay off, or will we get handed the other airway, arrival runway? We shall see.
Southwest 10, 12, climbing through 6,500.
Clipper 105, turn right heading 260, short vector for spacing.
260, Clipper 105 heavy.
American 1140, turn right heading 270, short vector for spacing.
Right.
Southwest 10, 12, Boston Center, hello, climb maintain flight level 230.
230, that's all.
Southwest 2720, contact Boston Center, 128.230.
2832, Southwest 2720.
Al says, I just saw SSG's 748 on special at the org store. One on a 747.
Traffic, 11 o'clock in about 15 miles, a left to right, heavy 777 at 15,000.
We're looking for him, Clipper 105 heavy.
And he's going to lower his shipping and faster.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to see him anyway. He's down there somewhere, like through that knob, if we were able to look that way.
Korean 112, proceed direct to Kingston, India, Gulf, November.
Okay, you give us a right turn and then tell us to look for traffic below us on our left. Doesn't quite work that way there, bud. See if I can increase the bank angle here. Of course, I know you don't want to really turn a heavy too tightly anyway.
Clipper 105, proceed direct to Kingston, India, Gulf, November.
Direct to Kingston, Clipper 105 heavy.
American 1140, proceed direct to Kingston, India, Gulf, November.
Nothing Kingston, American 1140.
Alright. Do that, and then that, and then that. Oops, nope, that. And then, oh wait a minute, that's not the legs page, that's why that didn't work. So, Kingston,
Romeo out of 5,000.
execute, okay, direct there from our present position, go back into LNAV mode.
Can we get that again?
United 998, thrust crank at 7,000. New York altimeter 29099.
Alright, let's make sure.
Boston Center, good. Afternoon, Cafe 37 with
Get to Lendy, we need to be at 250.
Cafe 37, Boston Center, hello.
That should be in our,
FSX.
FSC. Nope, 250. Well, it says expect 250.
Approach Titan 39 Romeo out of 5,600 for 10,000.
November 39 Romeo, Boston Center, hello. Climate gain 1010,000. Speed Manchester, altimeter.
Let's just put it in there.
Question 29097.
Climb maintain 1010,000, 2997, 39 Romeo.
Boston Center, very good evening. Skyline 9074 heavy, descending through flight level 350 for 240 inbound Bravo Alpha Foxtrot.
Skyline 9074 Boston Center, hello. Descend and maintain followable 180.
Center flight level 180, Scandinavian.
Even though that's expected and not assigned, I'm just going to put it in.
Say indicated airspeed.
324, Clipper 105.
Clipper 105, we did speed to 290.
290, Clipper 105.
American 1140, we did speed to 290.
299,
American 197, can you go any faster? Looks like your ground speed matches with the other guys, but you're definitely going slow.
Oh, damn, X-plane pilot.
Center, American 197, always info passport. American 197, turn left heading 150, I'm going to resequence this.
Yeah, Steve, still scheduled for 3-1 right? Yeah, we don't know yet. We've got a 50-50 shot. We know that Kennedy is still...
Traffic, 10 to 11 o'clock in 90 miles, southbound 737, that's followed with 200.
Okay, we're looking for him, Clipper 105.
Clipper 105 for now, maintain, followed with 210.
210, no problem. Clipper 105 there. So we actually got a little bit below that, so we'll vertical speed it back up there. So
Clipper 105 cancel speed restriction.
Cancel speed restriction, Clipper 105. So we can close. Let's see, how do we do that? We want to go back to just the FMC speed. Forget how to do that. I thought you just click on that now.
American 197, turn left heading 100. 100, 197.
There we go. Has to be in VNAV mode for that to work. Oh yeah, Northwest Orient. Thank you for that. And I'll catch up. So yeah. So Steve, are we still scheduled 3-1 right? We don't know that we ever were. Okay, 200, Clipper 105. I mean. Yeah, we don't know that we ever were. We just know that Kennedy is landing on the 3-1s, and I just took a stab at it. So we got a 50-50 shot at that, Stephen. They are still landing on 3-1s. Last we checked. Ski Jeffrey says, I built the Sonic restaurant in Kingston in real life. Nice. Well, I think we just flew over it.
2832, good night.
Good night, break. Clipper 105, contact New York and 132.17. Good night, thanks for the help.
3217, Clipper 105, everything. See ya. 3217.
Sounds a 6.
Alright, and one more refresh of the ATIS information just to make sure we check in with the correct letter. Now on Romeo.
117, turn left heading 200.
Left heading 200, American 117.
And Northwest Orient says, is it me or did they change the ATC audio? They made some tweaks to it, and I don't think X-Pilot has that yet, but V-Pilot does have the updated VHS simulation.
Washington 12545.
Steve says, I'm standing by on the side of the runway, scorecard in hand, no pressure.
That's a 117 flat at a 380.
Another 117, Roger. Contact Washington 12545.
Alright, tell you what, let's get it back down. Let's get it back down to 290.
Delta 4985, cross Lendy Avenue, King flight number 1,
Yeah, I'm asking for spoilers because speed's getting out of control here.
Lendy 190, 250 knots, sorry, Delta 4985.
Let's see if we can figure out what's going on here. We want it to go 290 and 2000. Auto throttle, flight director. We've got it slowing down now and hopefully getting down to that 200 for us. New York approach, Clipper 105 Heavy is 208 going down to 200. Information Bravo. 310, we went information Romeo, Clipper 105 Heavy.
Left turn 310, Zephyr 1317.
Line 8215, turn right heading 270.
Right hand 270, down 8315.
Love that. Alright, let's make sure we got this thing back under control. 290, still not really starting that descent. Let's make sure we got it going down to 200 here.
New York Center, good afternoon, right now, with you at 135.
Alright, I think we got it.
Delta 2021, direct Will Bear, using the London 6 arrival.
Here's where we start getting those crazy vectors. We don't have an approach assignment yet. I'm not sure if we're actually with New York Approach or New York Center. We don't have our approach assignment just yet. I heard that was 4, but they said Lendy 6, and that's not what we're on, so hopefully that wasn't for us.
Delta 717, New York.
Sorry, 1001, New York Center.
Flyer 1001, New York.
Northwest says, bring on the panic vectors, yeah.
Flight level 190.
Just give everybody 310, that way they can't crash into each other.
Direct 1, the American 170.
Range 233, turn left heading 220.
Left heading 220,
New York Center, good afternoon. Cafe 37 happy with you. Down, I think that's level 221. Cafe 37. American 140, turn right heading. Correction, American 1140, turn right heading 270. Right, 70, American 140.
If I had to guess, we're going to go out past this traffic that's coming opposite direction, and then we're going to join the line behind them. That's what I'm thinking.
Left turn 220, Zephyr 1317.
Level 4985, 190 at Langley, contact approach on 28192.
One at Jorlandi 2812.
That's 2812 seems likely to be our next handoff as well, so we'll get ready for that.
New York Center, Delta 717.
We are on center indeed, okay.
717, receive direct to spare, using the range 6 arrival.
So our next handoff is when we will find out which runway assignment we've got. And if we've got to switch from the right to the left, that's when we're going to have to whiz through that briefing. Just keep in mind, guys, that is an opportune time for me to start falling behind with the chat messages. For right now, don't have that high a workload, but I just expect once we get this next handoff into approach, I'm going to get a little nuts.
7 direct will spare, moving 126 arrival.
Who was that for?
I
feel like we should probably get that turn any second now.
New York Center, Cafe 370, is there any arrival on the station? American 1140, turn right heading 210. Cafe 27, turn right heading 210.
New York Center, Delta 717.
Delta 717.
With you, could you please repeat? American 117, was this for me?
No. Delta 2021, turn right heading 220.
Come on.
60 Delta 121.
Come on, give us a left.
15, turn right heading 060.
Come on, give us a left. I know it's coming.
New York Center, Delta 717.
FedEx 72 contact Pullman 126.1.
1 District 110. 1 District
Bunch of pilots entering 31 right, but our 2 highs is take 6. Well, we'll hope to fly it by the profile. We'll see what happens. We got another oncoming traffic. Okay, maybe we've got to fall in line behind this next one, possibly.
Ukraine 233, proceed direct landing.
Direct landing, there's nothing to need.
W1317, proceed direct landing.
Direct 20, JetBlue 13.
So that is about 7 or 8 miles to our left.
King level 320.
Don't see him though. It might be in the clouds.
Flipper 105, turn right heading 320.
320, Clipper 105 heavy.
American 140, turn right heading 320. Top 827, fly heading 320.
They're extending finals.
Eva, Europe.
Not surprising.
Yes, Eva 031 is on frequency at 17, 0.
Yeah, climb maintain level 190 or higher fuel.
Over 190 Eva 031.
I think they're extending everything.
American 937.
Right now, they're extending vectors into the terminal area for sure.
I can repeat that. Sorry, for American 937.
128.4.
Alright, 128.4, American 937, Agri 9. New York Center, can we go to cruising for 30,000?
Who's that?
For Eva 0, where you going?
Negative 190.
Alright, 190, Eva 0.
W1317, maintain 250.
250 on the speed, JetBlue 1372.
Alright, who are we talking to? 3217.
Delta 1249, turn right heading 270.
I'm trying to keep in mind who are we giving positive feedback to after the event.
70, Delta 1249.
So far, I feel like this guy's really.
New York Center, KLM 7711, flight level 110.
Wouldn't say he's the standout, but he's definitely got his hands full when he's maintaining pretty good composure through it.
7711.
CPS 148, contact Cleveland 11987.
20.
11987 with this 148.
Who is he? 3217? I don't know. There he is.
New York Center 4720, flight level 310, between 32 720. New York Center Delta 1515, flight level 230.
Oh, he's streaming too. ZNY_SB. ZNY_SB on Twitch.
8000 Delta 15. Giant 8215.
New York United 510 into descent to 280.
Yeah, we get all kinds of traffic around this.
No
No idea how this sequence is going to work. I thought I saw it, but they're swinging this line way around. So I guess 4 o'clock's probably out the window at this point. It's all good.
Up to 300.
We'll keep flying until they tell us not to.
American 117, maintain 250 now.
Maintain 250 knots, American 117.
Cap 827, maintain 250 now.
So,
37.
anything going on in the news lately, guys?
New York Center, Delta 717.
Delta 717, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think Delta 717 can hear us. He was stepping on a few guys earlier.
Trying to get the southwest fifth for fighting 1012. Clipper 105, turn left heading 220.
220, Clipper 105.
American 117, cross landing, flight level 1.
Oh, we got some traffic over there.
Cross landing, flight level 190, 250 knots, American 117.
Ukraine 233, you're at 250, is that correct?
B250, great directional, 233, we have tailwind partner.
Ukraine 233, descend and maintain flight level 110.
Level
190, cash mountain 3
Trying to reach 15, 17,
190
Bring it around town. Bring it around town.
I'm going to maintain 190-250 knots, JetBlue 1350.
and 627, turn right heading 273.
Right, 270.
Clipper 105, proceed to right Lendy.
Direct landing, Clipper 105.
Delta 2021, turn right heading 260.
Right heading 360, Delta 10.
Lendy goes up there. Execute. LNAV. Alright, we're heading back towards the airport, guys.
Tiger 117, contact approach 128.12.
So that's some good news.
8.12, I'm making 117.
2812, I think we did say that's...
And that is 69 is at flight level 2 from 3 to 2. 69, you are sending up.
Outside view? Yeah, real quick, we'll do that for you. We're logged on as Papa Alpha Alpha 105, Pan American Airways, Clipper 105. Got a United livery going on though, because I don't have a Pan Am livery for this plane. But it is the Queen of the Skies, the PMDG 744. For 190, 250 knots, Clipper 105 heading.
Cathay 37, turn left heading 270.
270, Cafe 37.
American 1140, turn left heading 270. Western Global 7 Papa Mike, contact Cleveland, Hotel 987.
We are 197, yeah, level 1.
Delta 1553, contact approach 128.4. Approach 1554. Western Global 7 Papa Mike, contact Cleveland.
And now, by the way, appreciate you stopping by to check us out on the stream here. Normally we're a general aviation stream, but for across the pond, we always make the exception. Titanium says, Stryker, listen, and you listen close. Flying a plane is no different than riding a bicycle. It's just a lot harder to put baseball cards in the spokes. Titanium, do me a favor. Do exclamation point quote. Exclamation point quote for me.
Maintain 14,000, altimeter 3000, United Flight 10.
Ukraine 233, contact approach 128.12.
Approach 138.1.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Had the 627, turn right heading 213.
Alright, it's not getting us down to,
United 69, turn right heading 212.
Right heading through. Neo
Two-
Center, Delta 9.
yeah, I keep flipping it back into,
Eric Center, Delta 717.
Delta 717, yeah, go ahead.
Copy that.
Delta 1249, turn right heading 360.
360, Delta 1249.
so let's just take matters into our own hands. 1,000 foot
Ukraine 233.
descent to 190 and speed 250. Alright, so there we go. Took us a little while to comply. I wasn't paying attention. Didn't realize the plane wasn't complying.
New York Center, Delta 1972 with you, flight level 310.
At this point, we'll handle the VNAV.
Cathay 37, proceed right heading.
Joey, do you like gladiator movies?
Line B, Cafe 37.
American 1140, proceed right heading. Delta 717, turn, disregard flight, present heading, back to the sequence, present heading.
Delta 717 ain't gonna hear you. He's having radio troubles, clearly. He hasn't figured it out that he's having radio troubles. Alright, so we got it finally complying with 250 and 190s. So at this point, like I said, we'll manage We'll manage that manually. We've still got it on LNAV, so it'll still follow the lateral path, but we'll handle the vertical instructions. Auto will control the horizontal, we will control the vertical.
197, turn right heading 210.
Can we hit this from here? No, it's not quite empty.
197, turn right heading 210.
That's, recycle bins are good. 7-8 feet away from me. Let's see.
Giant 8215.
Oh, just short. Okay, all right, we'll get that later. We'll knock the map down another range.
American 1140, maintain 2509.
Great clatter sound effect, yeah. That's a very specialized .wave file that I found to make it sound like I missed the recycle bin with the Red Bull can. Very realistic. Yeah, the Terps would be ashamed.
72, turn left heading 040, back up to
Roger, turning left 040.
I saw a great T-shirt on Facebook, by the way. March Sadness. This is the March Madness logo, except with the S. Kind of summed it up for this season, didn't it? Yeah.
Southwest 2720, contact Potomac 126.1.
2617, sorry.
Epicness says, no, but funnily enough, I have been in a Turkish prison. I don't want to know that story, Epicness. I do, but I don't.
Delta 2021, proceed to direct Genoa.
Proceed direct Genoa, Delta 2021.
Geno?
1001, contact Cleveland, 1117.
No, the Epicness, you're missing it. These are all airplane references. We've done like 15 of them. Keep up, man. Keep up. The way you said it, I thought you were literally saying, no, I actually have been in a Turkish prison.
New York Center, good. Level 17000. 903, New York.
Yeah, Al's doing the R-rated version of the quote. Al's doing the version of the quote that didn't make the final cut of the film.
031, contact Cleveland, 11917.
Over to 119.87, even vehicle 1.
KLM 77,
Alright, we can pretty much disregard the arrival.
119,
So we've got left and right. We don't know which one we're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates up in here. There's the airport diagram. Again, we're going to Terminal 3, which is the area between Terminal 2 and Terminal 4, oddly enough, but there's
New York Center, Delta 717's with you.
not really a terminal there anymore, but that's where the Worldport used to be. So that's where we'll go. That's Delta 717 trying his mic again.
Negative. Right turn 270.
Yeah, so they finally kind of got that figured out via text, which is good, but he's still stepping on people when he calls in.
105, contact approach 128.12.
2812, Clipper 105, having see it. Alright, 2812. Let's just do one last refresh.
International 333 to center maintain 12000.
Still on Romeo.
Turn to 1 to 12,000,
American 117 to center maintain 8000.
Maintain 8000, American 117.
It's like a box of chocolates up in here. New approach, Clipper 105 Heavy, information Romeo, level 190.
Clipper 105 Heavy, New York approach, depart Lundy, heading 180, vectors Island 31 left, release speed to 210.
Okay, 210, 180 after Lendy, was it?
Clipper 105 Heavy, from 180 heading after Lundy for ILS 31 left.
And expect ILS 31 left, Clipper 105 Heavy. Oh, lost the lottery there.
Virgin 127 Heavy, descend and maintain 4,000.
That's full backing, Virgin 127.
Alpha Bravo Delta 369 Heavy, New York approach on 36.
Atlanta 369, sorry, just switched over now.
369 Heavy, New York approach, no problem. Descend and maintain 5,000, fly heading 040.
Okay, so now we've got to quickly brief the
001.
31 left. Let's get it switched into the
5,000 feet to the vectors, runway 31 left.
arrivals.
And with the heading 040, Atlanta 369.
31 left.
From heading 040.
Execute.
040 the heading, and just the altimeter again, 3001, Atlanta 369.
Let's do that from...
Heavy, turn left heading 040.
040, Virgin 127.
Virgin 127 Heavy, contact New York approach.
Let's just do it from Zax. Okay, so there's no transition route.
Korean International 333.
The missed approach is 500 and then 3,000 at Chant intersection, so let's check that. It is correct. Alright, FMC route and legs are checked. Fixed rings are up. Cloud cover and winds are already checked. VREF speeds already checked. Do we have to re-enter them? No, that's still 158, 163. Minimums on this approach probably the same. But we'll double check that.
105 heavy traffic,
13.
2 o'clock, 6 miles, stationary 747 at flight level 190.
Got him in sight, looks like it won't be a factor. Clipper 105 heavy.
Yeah, Clipper 105, just in case he starts moving again, I'm not sure what's going on there.
Roger. He's got that, he's the Harrier version, a Harrier variant of the 747. Alright, let's not get distracted, we got some stuff to do here.
Atlanta 369.
Minimums on that approach are 213, so I think we got it to 220, so that is still good. And auto brake is still set on 2, and the turnoff is going to be a right-hand turnoff now for 31 left as we are taxiing somewhere like somewhere like that, probably there, and then down to this area. So something like that. So right-hand turnoff. All right, so we're good. Let's just double check the legs. I think we didn't do that. We're not yet at Lendy, so we don't have to make that turn just yet. But we do need to make, okay, Chant at 3,000 is correct in there, so we are set. Alright, real quick rebrief of the approach. Not too bad.
Heading 130, speed 210, Moncton Center.
Giant 8315 is a little bit more than a slight stutter.
They knew what they were getting into when they bought their ticket, that's right.
Either needed to start moving or disconnect.
Track says, I've been slow cooking chili through the whole flight to be ready as you land. Beer going into the ice cold range as we speak. Oh, the mountains are turning blue. Gotta love it. Otherwise, how would you know if the beer was cold? Titanium says, nice. Gonna try a new mac and cheese recipe tomorrow. Nice. Loving it.
So to maintain 8,000, just 15.
Cathay 37, New York approach, depart Lendy heading 180, vectors Island 31 left.
Okay.
Back in 1140, same for you, depart Lendy heading 180, vectors Island 31 left.
180 out of Lendy.
Clipper 104 heavy, descend and maintain 16,000, Kennedy altimeter 3001.
That was it for 105 heavy?
Baker.
Okay, 16,000, Clipper 105.
Ukraine International 233, descend and maintain 6,000.
6,000 British, no,
and
Ukraine International 233, need to reduce speed to 210.
just getting ready to cross Lendy.
Approach, hello, Cal 385 with you, on direct to Carmen.
Vector 85, near approach department Cameron heading 040, vectors Island 31 left, altimeter 3001, reduce speed to 210.
Say it again please for Cal 385, sorry.
385, depart Cameron, heading 040.
Going to local mode on the barometer, 3001 sets.
After Cameron, heading 040 to ILS, runway 31 left, speed 210, calculate 5.
You're going International 233, set to maintain 5,000.
25,000, Christian 433.
And just to declutter the screen here, I think we'll...
Atlanta 369, could you repeat the frequency again, please, sir?
Atlanta 369 heavy, no problem, 132.4.
1324, thanks very much, Atlanta 369.
Well, I have no idea what we just did in the FMC, but that's okay.
Americans 117 left 040 down to 4,000, please.
Critical, this is perfect timing, just went offline from a flight started in New York's area, and yeah, they're getting slammed.
JetBlue 1317 to set a maintain 5,000.
Set to maintain 5,000, JetBlue 1317.
Okay, International 233, turn off heading 130.
Heading 130, International 233.
John 83
Spotted descent, calculate 5.
Alright, John 8315, squawk 1541, turn right heading 180.
Okay, so we're basically being set up on a downwind at this point.
Requesting the spotted descent, calculate 5.
Delta 85 heavy, set to maintain 5,000.
I think we probably ought to start thinking about getting flaps out too for
American 117, contact you.
maintaining 210. We're kind of nose up.
132.4, American 117, thank you so much.
JetBlue 1317, turn left heading 130.
Left turn 130, JetBlue 1317.
3385, set to maintain 4,000.
See if we can clean up.
78 heavy, depart Cameron heading 040.
So if we're coming in from that left downwind, we're kind of coming in from Chant intersection, so we can maybe even...
Alright, Johnny 315, I'm going to need you to disconnect. Your sim team seems to keep pausing. Break, Cat 837, turn heading 180 immediately. There's a stopped aircraft in front of you.
So let's see if we can insert Chant here, C-H-A-N-T, right up in the top. And then we'll go Mules.
Ukraine 233, turn left heading 040.
040, International 233.
Okay, we'll see what that looks like.
Great Turn altitude, Ukraine International 233.
Yeah, there we go.
132.4.
There we go, and we got the insufficient fuel warning because the FMC believes we need to have enough remaining to divert to Miami, which we do not.
3384, heavy ready speed to 210.
So the
05 heavy descent to maintain 8,000.
8,000, clip to 105 heavy.
Cat 837 heavy, New York approach, ground frequency.
Alright, start it down.
Cat 837 heavy, 2,190.
Cat 837 heavy, turn right heading 180, descent to maintain 16,000, altimeter 3000.
16,000, 3000.
JetBlue 1317, turn left heading 090, descent to maintain 4,000.
Left turn 090, descent to maintain 4,000.
Yeah, so the insufficient fuel warning came up because we told the FMC that we needed, what do we say? In reserves, we needed 89.7 thousand pounds in reserves so that we could divert to Miami.
Lufthansa 627 heavy, New York approach.
We've now exhausted our fuel for diverting to Miami. However, we still have plenty to make Dulles with if we need to divert, so we're good. Even though the FMC thinks we're running low, we're not.
78 heavy, descent to maintain 9,000.
In reality, I probably should have put a lower reserve amount in since we weren't really diverting to Miami. But it's all right. We know we've got plenty of fuel. We're good. able to sustain that 1,800 feet at the 210, so we're good here. Everything in Cleveland is quiet in case we need to divert. That's good to know.
Flight level 190.
Sound? I mean, it seems like we're being vectored in for our approach, so I think we're okay.
2385, turn rating 090.
Coming up on our 10,000 foot, let's go ahead and just run through that checklist. We'll get the inboard
3385 heavy, turn right heading 090.
inboard landing lights on and the turn-off lights on.
Call 25, right heading 090.
And we'll go ahead and cycle the no
Cathay
smoking
37 heavy,
crew.
going to maintain 12,000.
To crew line, basically.
Cathay 37 heavy.
American 1140, turn right heading 180 to center maintain 16,000.
Just their signal to
000.
make that last run through and collect everybody's trash. And we'll secure the cabin once we are starting
now,
our descent.
You can't just keep reconnecting back. Your sim seems to keep pausing. You need to figure out what's going on. Couple 1317, turn left heading 040, contact New York approach 132.4.
040 New York approach on 132.4, Chapter 1317 today.
Condor 778 heavy, reduce speed to 210, then descend and maintain 4,000.
Alright.
Clarity 385 heavy, turn left heading 040, contact New York approach 132.4.
32.4.
385 heavy, turn left heading 040, contact New York approach 132.4. Clipper 105 heavy, descend and maintain 5,000.
5,000, Clipper 105 heavy.
Cathay 37, descend and maintain 8,000.
8,000, Cathay 37 heavy.
And that is 69 is the
We're going to keep it at 210. We're still not quite headed toward the airport yet.
Heading 040 and connecting with approach 132.4 for cars to flight by using 950.
Condor 778, contact New York approach 132.4.
132.4.
Let's bump the range up. Is there?
Clipper
Is that the?
105 heavy, reduce speed to 210, then turn left heading 130.
Alright, we are at 210 and we will start our left turn to 130, Clipper 105 heavy.
Lufthansa 627, New York approach, turn right heading 180, descend and maintain 16,000, Kennedy altimeter 3000. Lufthansa 627, heavy New York.
Okay, so it looks like he's putting me in ahead of this guy.
first clearing 112, we do 100,000.
Maybe?
Yeah, 69 heavy.
Or maybe he
New York
expected me
approach,
to
heading 180, vectors island,
take
31
longer to start
left.
that turn. I did tell him we were already at 210.
Descend 180.
Yeah, 69 heavy, negative, maintain flight level 190, depart Lendy. Actually disregard this flight present heading for now, vectors island 31 left.
Roger that, 69.
Yeah, this doesn't look like it's working out like he wants.
New York approach, good evening, Lufthansa 67, flight level 190.
Lufthansa 67 heavy, turn right heading 180, descend and maintain 13,000, altimeter 3000, vectors island 31 left.
Let's slow that descent.
Flight level 130, QNH 3000.
Let's stop that descent.
Lufthansa 627 heavy, turn right heading 180, please.
180 descended.
Clipper 105 heavy, descend and maintain 4,000.
4,000 Clipper 105 heavy. You get the traffic about 4 miles straight ahead of us.
Clipper 105 heavy, there's traffic about 6 miles and traveling northeastbound. It's a 767 at 7,000 to 4,000. That will be a sequence.
Okay, we'll keep him in sight for Clipper 105 heavy.
First clearing 112, 10,000.
Cathay 37, reduce speed to 210, then descend and maintain 5,000.
Okay.
Speed 210, descend 5,000, Cathay 37.
American 140, descend and maintain 8,000, reduce speed to 210.
210 knots, then down to 8,000.
Alright, so we're getting ready to make the intercept here. We're going to start pulling the speed down.
Running.
Probably about 170.
2021,
We'll say 180.
210, depart Lendy, heading 180, vectors island 31 left.
210, second heading at the landing for 21 left.
Heading 180.
And it's 163 down the final approach course and 158 over the numbers.
Approach Korea 112.
Korea 112, New York approach, depart landing heading 180, vector Xylos 31 left.
Yeah, 180, only 31, left 21.
Yeah, 610, heavy turn running 180.
Slow the descent so we can get the speed off.
Yeah, 69 to set maintain 12,000.
Melvin says, Captain just turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Stuff's about to get real.
New York, approach Lake Cross, Triple Light with you.
Buckle up, Buttercup, says Inchworm. This is where the pilot earns the big bucks.
Triple Light, New York approach.
Yeah, we're going to see.
10, down to set maintain 6,000.
When we get...
Speed 210,
okay, so speed now under a little bit better control. We'll get the next notch of flaps out.
040, vector Xylos 31 left, altimeter 3000.
Let's keep it at 190.
Cross Triple Light.
Triple Light, heading 040.
Let's keep it at 190 for now.
040, Cross Triple Light.
Clipper 105 heavy, turn left heading 040, set maintain 4,000.
040, 4000, Clipper 105 heavy.
Cathay 37, turn left heading 130.
130, Cathay 37.
Clipper 105 heavy, contact New York approach 132.4, speed 210 knots.
324, 210, Clipper 105.
Cathay.
Alright, we'll put it back to 210 then.
233, contact Kennedy Town 123.9.
123.9, I'll get us into the data cap.
New York approach, Clipper 105 heavy is level 40, it was 4200 for 4000.
JetBlue 1317, reduce speed to 190.
Reduce speed 190, JetBlue 1317.
JetBlue 1317, make that 170, please.
170, JetBlue 1317.
Cal 385 heavy, reduce speed to 180.
Speed 180, Brooke, call 385.
Alright.
Clipper 105 heavy, New York approach, good afternoon.
Alright, so let's go ahead and get the approach set up. We'll get the no smoking sign on. We'll get the continuous ignition on. And that is somewhere up there. There we go. We'll get the spoilers armed. If I can remember how to do that. Try that. There we go. Flaps are already starting to be deployed. We'll get the rest of the landing lights and the taxi light on. Alright, guys.
Condo 778 heavy, just turn to maintain 2000, then reduce speed to 180.
Yep, 2000, then speed 180.
Bush landings are so much simpler.
Left heading 330,
Well,
colleague.
the proof is in the pudding, Jeffrey. We'll see what happens.
Clipper 105 heavy, increase speed 230.
230, Clipper 105.
JetBlue 1317, Tower 123.
He's going to make me earn it.
Good day, JetBlue 1317.
Alright, let's go back to flaps one.
Cleared ILS over 3 left approach.
Cleared ILS approach, runway 21 left, call 385.
Ski Jeffrey, yes. Say again, assume crash positions.
Clipper 105 heavy, just going to maintain 4000.
We are at 4000, Clipper 105 heading.
That's what I meant, 3000.
Okay, down 3, Clipper 105 heading.
4 is the new straight. Condor 778 heavy, 718.
I just called what he said. 4 is the new 3, I got it.
Okay, and then after you do that, Condor 778 heavy.
Crixel says, I didn't think you were supposed to bring flaps back up once on an approach unless it's a go-around. Yeah, I don't know the rule on that, Crixel. All I know is he asked us to increase speed, which I figured put us back into a higher flap category. Missed what went on there. I'll have to play that back. But yeah, he asked me to increase speed by 20 knots, and I felt that was probably best us to go back to the higher flap setting. It's not common for them to give you an increased speed, so. But if there is a rule on that, I don't know it. Take 6 says I can see you on Jet Pilot's ATC screen. Didn't think you were supposed to bring. Okay, I already read that one. Yeah, so I don't know that I've ever been given an increased speed on an approach before, so.
Condor 778 heavy, turn left heading 330.
But Crixley, you absolutely may be right about that. I don't know the answer.
Okay.
Clipper 105 heavy, just going to maintain
2,000,
2,000.
Clipper 105 heavy.
Approach Qantas 888 with you.
Who's that? Qantas?
Qantas 888.
Qantas 888. News approach, good afternoon.
Alright, and I think we'll go to the legs page and we'll just kind of redirect ourselves to meals just for the purposes of letting the FMC kind of have some clue as to what we're up to here. Although again, we're ignoring that magenta line. We're getting ready to intercept the ILS. Bobcat said, I thought.
Clipper 105 heavy, reduce speed to 190.
190, Clipper 105.
Qantas 888, turn right heading 060.
Right 060, Qantas 888.
What's the FMC message say?
778.
It's official fuel. Okay, yeah, we know that's a lie.
Have we cleared island?
Cleared island, 23 wants to go.
Now we can go down.
Cleared island.
Start throwing some more flaps out. Bobcat said, I thought you would get the expedited handling. Don't they know who they're dealing with? Oh, yeah. I'm surprised I didn't get the endless hold.
Have a wonderful day and hope you enjoy this day. Okay, this is Condor 778 heavy contact Kennedy Tower 123.9er. Hope you had a wonderful flight.
23.9. Of course, it might be a different tower on our...
340.
340, Clipper 105 heavy. Might be a different tower on our side.
190, Cali 32.
American 1140, check-in 94 4000 heading to 40.
American 1140, New York approach heading.
We're going to pull the speed down to 180.
Qantas 888, sliding 0.
Got one more notch of flaps.
030, Qantas 888.
Clipper 105 heavy, 10 miles from Newark, maintain 2,000 until established on a localized cleared ILS only 21 left approach, maintain 190 knots.
Alright, 2,000 and 190 knots until established, clear for the ILS 31 left approach, Clipper 105 heavy.
Cathay 37 heavy, just going to maintain 2,000.
2,000, Cathay 37 heavy.
American 1140, what are you descending to?
We're clear to 4000, American 1140.
American 1140, just going to maintain 3,000.
3000 now, American 1140.
And there's the approach button there.
American 1140, turn left heading 040.
Left 040, American 1140.
Qantas 888, just going to maintain 2,000, turn right heading 040.
3000 second and heading to Qantas 888.
And remember the missed approach altitude, 3,000 feet.
40 Qantas 888.
Right hand turn off if we land. There's our intercept.
Cathay 37 heavy, 10 miles from Newark, turn left heading 340, maintain 2,000 to establish on the localized cleared ILS 23 left approach.
Turn left heading 340, clear ILS 31 left.
Left side's packed, they're trying to move.
190 from Newark, contact Kennedy Tower 123.9.
190 till meals, 123.9er, Clipper 105 heavy, so yeah.
Qantas flight 888, descend to
23.9.
710 2000 Qantas 888.
Alright, feet up on the pedals. Let's get ready to do this thing, guys. Kennedy Tower Clipper 105 heavy on a ILS 31 left, 9 mile final.
Clipper 105 heavy, Kennedy Tower number 2 behind a 767 on a 2 mile final with 190 runway 31 left, clear land. Be advised, we have 1 departure prior to your arrival.
Alright, clear to land following the traffic number 2 and 1 departure prior. We'll look out for them as well, Clipper 105 heavy.
Cal 385, welcome to Kennedy, make the right one able, no delay. Again, traffic on 1 mile final, contact ground 121.9.
121.9 there, thank you very much, Colin. 35.
Not sure what's going on with the water texture there, but oh well. Alright, glide slope's coming down. We're going to slow to the final approach speed, 163.
Clipper 105, you could slow it down a little bit for me, that'd be great.
And we're doing that now, Clipper 105. We'll get the gear out. Flaps 15, or flaps 20 rather. Yay, textures.
71 heavy, runway 31 left, line up the wing.
Line up away, 31 left, reach 7 heavy.
I missed approach altitude of 3,000. Oh man, here we go. Not sure what's happening. New York is sinking into the ocean.
Condor, welcome to Kennedy. Make right when able, no delay, contact.
121.9er for ground. Now on a 4-mile final, we will get landing flaps of 25 set. And we'll match the throttles. There we are. Ready to take matters into our own hands, guys? Oh, look at the parallel approach. Nice.
Reach 71, fly the Yankee transition. Wind 190 at 9 runway 31 left, clear for takeoff.
Yankee transition, 31 left for takeoff. Reach 7 heavy.
So 163 down final, and 158 over the numbers. We're drifting way off the localizer here. Alright, so we'll start pulling it down. Oh, that's a way displaced threshold.
Cafe 37, RS31.
Cafe 27 heavy, Kennedy Tower, number 2, landing distance 47.
Yeah, this happened last time we tried to land one of these things too.
BLS river left, Cafe 37.
We're stable-ish. We're fine, we're fine. No problem, no problem. Yeah, we're a little off center line, it's okay. Alright, whoops. Where's my reversers? Get the manual braking done. Stow the flaps and spoilers. Still at 80. Stow the reversers.
With 188.
I don't know what's going on with the ground textures here, guys. Sucks.
Go ahead.
But we made it.
Tower, good day, Cross Triple 8, ILS finals, runway 31 left.
Off of Papa Charlie.
Kennedy Tower. Wind 190 at 9 runway 31 left, clear to land. Number 2 behind 747 on a 1 mile final.
Clear to land, runway 34 left, copy the number 2, Cross Triple 8.
Make sure we're all the way off.
71 contact departure 135.9er, see you, thanks.
Papa Charlie and Papa.
35-9, thank you.
Don't see anybody to our left.
3, 1 left.
American 1140 Kennedy Tower. Number 3 behind Aquinas on a 3-mile final with 190.9.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with these ground textures, guys. This is horrendous. Maybe just memory issues with all the planes. I don't know. But, and the landing was not the best either. Well, not bad for flying this thing, what, twice a year? Alright. Go ahead and switch over to ground.
Turn Tango Bravo, join Alpha.
Tango Alpha, join Bravo, we hear you, transfer appropriate, thank you.
So we're Papa Charlie and Papa.
Go to 45, make it runway 31 right.
Just FSX being FSX, yeah, kinda, yeah, but Disappointing. Looks terrible on stream. Kennedy ground, Clipper 105 Heavy is off of Papa Charlie at Papa off of 3-1 left, and we're going to Terminal 3, which is the parking area between 2 and 4.
Clipper 105 Heavy, Kennedy ground, roger. Papa, straight ahead, Bravo, remain this frequency.
Alright, Papa, straight ahead, Bravo, and remain this frequency, Clipper 105 Heavy.
Delta 45 Heavy, stay parking.
Anywhere's fine.
Delta 45 Heavy, roger. Straight ahead, Victor, and ramp your discretion. Have a good one.
Okay, straight ahead on Victor and stand by discretion, Delta 45.
Alright, so we should be able to get into Lima, make our left-hand turn.
We are going to keep ramp online, so contact ramp 131.85.
Stow the flaps and spoilers. We can get the landing lights off.
13185, Delta 45.
3, 4. Come on. And the turn-off lights off as well.
Lufthansa 6 Mike Alpha, make right turn Mike Alpha, contact Kennedy ramp 131.85.
Strobe light can come off as well. That's that one there.
Delta 45 ground.
Let's see, what else we got? Continuous ignition can come off, that's that up there. Get the APU started.
Ground Cafe 37 and Papa Charlie toggle.
Clipper 105, say again.
Wasn't me. Wasn't me.
Roger. Okay, so then last aircraft calling, say again.
Cafe 37 Heavy at Papa Charlie, request taxi to toggle.
That can come
Cafe
off.
37 Heavy, Kennedy ground, hello, right turn Papa, left turn November, left turn onto Alpha, and then I'll have further taxi instructions to you.
No smoking sign can come off. Crew can now get up and start getting you guys ready to get off my plane. The weather radar can come off.
I'm Air 778, you can take hotel, make a right turn.
Transponder can go back into transponder mode.
123, point on her, bye-bye.
We're arriving traffic, we would like to go to terminal please.
Apologies, you can make a left turn to Hotel Bravo, contact ramp 131.85.
Okay, we'll go over left there, Hotel Bravo, and over the ramp.
Condor 778, if it's easier, you can also just take hotel, that works too.
Yeah, cheers. We'll take hotel, thank you very much.
American 745 should be a factor, but give way to the Condor 767, he's going to make a left turn on hotel.
Call 5 indicate. Thank you very much for your service. Have a nice day, sir.
And we're
American 1043 ground.
Gonna go ahead and hold short of this next taxiway.
American 1043, give way to the Condor 767, making a left turn on hotel. He'll be entering the ramp.
Okay, copy. We'll give the way to the 767.
Lufthansa 410, heavy, Kennedy ground.
Papa short of Bravo.
Lufthansa 410, heavy, stay parking.
Papa short of Mike Bravo. Let's get the parking brake on, so we don't drift forward. And so we don't have anything else to do.
Roger, straight ahead on Whiskey to the ramp. Contact Kennedy ramp 131.85.
Let's see. We're at Mike Bravo. Okay, so we need to go up a few. We're trying to turn in at Lima.
131.85. And American 1140, clear of 31 left.
American 1140, Kennedy ground. Hello, give way to the Cathay 747. Left to right, make a right turn, Papa, stay parking.
We'll go to gate 45 and follow Cathay Pacific, American 1140.
American 1140, stay terminal.
Yeah, Melvin says, hope the runway isn't obscured. Take 6 says it looks wet. Northwest Orient says, there goes the go-around.
On Mike Bravo, request.
Titanium says, paid for the entire runway, might as well use it. We use the full width, right? We use the full width and the full length, actually, Titanium. Justin says, close enough. Inchworm says, well done. I don't know how well done it was, but it was done.
Mike Bravo, join Alpha, and then...
Melvin says, congrats, you made it. This is, Ski Jeffrey says, don't taxi into the water.
Mike Bravo, join Alpha.
And Bobcat says, thanks for a good flight. FSX just being FSX. Are we there yet? Take 6? Just about, man. You will not beat this airplane to the gate, so keep your ass in your seat. Cathay 37 Heavy, stop hitting your mic, says Crixel. Yeah, exactly.
American 1140, roger, straight ahead on Papa, straight ahead to join.
So I think I heard our Qantas plane get his taxi instructions, so he'll get out of our way. And then we'll come on past him to Lima.
43, left turn hotel now, cross runway 23 right.
Let's see.
Left hotel, cross 23 right, American 1043.
Traffic building up behind us here, so let's scooch up.
Master aircraft calling, say again.
American 310 holding short of Tango Alpha, request taxi to 31 left.
American 310, Kennedy ground, hello, runway 31 left, taxi via right Alpha, Hotel, Zulu, cross runway 22 right.
Roger, Alpha, Hotel, Zulu, and crossing to the right, American 310, thank you.
Down to 627 heavy, Kennedy ground, hello, safe parking.
So that was Mike Bravo. We got Mike Alpha here. We got
actually American 1140. You blocked
regular
right
Mike coming up.
1140. Roger. Left down to 627. Straight ahead, November. Americans giving way to you, and you can contact ramp 131.85.
131.85. We'll get ready to switch over.
Cafe 37 Heavy, request left Sierra for cargo.
Master aircraft calling, call sign only.
Cafe 37.
Cafe 37, left turn Sierra parking, contact ramp 131.85.
So there's Lima Alpha, so we want to make the next.
Contact Kennedy Tower 123.9.
Next left should be Lima and then Lima into Terminal 3.
Alitalia 610 heavy Kennedy Tower.
So where are we? We are Bravo, short of Lima.
.610 heavy tower, or ground.
Fiumicino, Kennedy ground, Italia 610, yes, with you.
We got a TCAS, ECAS indication of gear damage. You guys see
Delta
that?
45 hold position.
I guess I'm not surprised by that. Oh, gear disagree.
Delta 45 heavy hold position.
Interesting.
Delta 45 heavy hold position.
Okay, that's because that.
American 1140 continue taxi right turn November join Alpha.
I think I was using the wrong switch to wrong switch for my spoilers. That's what, or my reversers.
All right, American 1140. For your sake, can you make the right turn to join Alpha right now? Yeah, I got out of the way. Everybody doesn't work. Roger, thanks.
Ground Clipper 105.
American 310, continue taxi, right turn November Charlie to join Bravo.
Roger, November Charlie to join Alpha, American 310.
Ground Clipper 105.
Delta 105 ground.
It's Clipper 105 looking to, we're at Bravo and Kilo Golf looking to turn Kilo Golf into the ramp if that's okay.
Clipper 105, apologies sir, make left turn, make a left, you want to turn Kilo Golf, you said?
That's affirmative.
Roger, left turn Kilo Fox, left turn Alpha, right turn Kilo Golf, contact Kennedy ramp 131.85.
Okay, actually, yeah, we would turn straight on to Kilo Golf and we'll contact ramp Clipper 105, thanks.
Roger, that works.
Kennedy ground, Italia 610, request us to Terminal 1.
All right.
Delta 45 heavy, make a right turn onto Mike join Bravo.
Sorry,
See if we can get an overhead view of this. View mode, outside and top down.
About 2412.
Yeah, so the old Worldport, you see these four dirt
Stand by,
spots
just
here.
got an airplane inbound.
Is where the basically where the old
Thank you for
Pan American
That's a
Worldport used
decent
to be.
roger,
That's the
Clipper
old Terminal
145
3.
to ramp.
Clipper 105.
What gate are you parking at?
We're probably one that's not on your screen. We're going to the old Pan Am Worldport, Terminal 3 between 2 and 4.
Okay, roger.
Yeah, kind of figured.
Delta 2412, taxi, sorry. Continue straight ahead, hold short Kilo Fox, give way to the
Got a Concorde sitting over there. That's kind of
Clipper 747 ahead. And you can call ground 121.9, holding short.
Alright, Kilo Fox will give way to the traffic,
yeah,
7.9, Delta 24 Golf.
It's going to get out of his way. Yeah, so I wish, I was looking, I didn't find one. I was looking for a scenery enhancement that would put the old Worldport back. I think that's the bridge that used to connect to it there, I would assume, maybe, possibly. But the old Pan Am Worldport used to be right here. I guess these are cargo spots now, I'm not even sure. Yeah, why no land class scenery? We're having some sort of a memory error or something. I don't know what the heck happened. But we got a big chunk of stuff that just, it vanished as we were on final, so it was there.
Looks like you missed Mike there. Let's make a next left.
Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows?
Delta 45.
Direct Danny, thank you for stopping in, checking us out. Sorry that you're seeing such a
Delta 45 ramp.
Crappy rendition of the airport, though. Yeah, not my best work on the landing. Kind of drifting left and right. A little low on glide slope as well.
Kennedy ramp, good afternoon. JetBlue 418 on gate 9 at the JetBlue terminal with Sierra, request push and start.
There we go.
JetBlue.
Parking brake. Get the taxi light off.
JetBlue 418, push tail west, call for taxi.
Yeah.
Push tail west, call for taxi.
Overall good flight though, we got the job done. APU gens can go on.
United 35, terminal 5, gate 14, ready push start.
1 and 2.
United 35.
Engine cutoffs.
Can you make it a short push, tail west?
Come on.
We'll do a short push tail west.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you. Push start approved, short push tail west.
Alright, now seatbelt lights can go off. Everybody can hop on
JetBlue
out.
418, can you make it a longer push?
I always forget the seatbelt lights on this plane are down here, so there.
Yep, we'll make it a longer push to the west. We got the United in sight. We'll steer clear.
Perfect, thanks.
Beacon and wing lights.
United 35, traffic's pushing off gate 9 on your left hand side. We'll make it a long push.
Fuel pumps can all come off.
I got them in sight to United 35.
All 20 of them. Trim can get reset.
2305, we're ready to push.
We'll reset the trim to 6 before we shut the hydraulics off.
American
Hydro can now go to off, 1, 2, 3, and aux.
Push start approved, tail west.
Menu.
Push back approved, tail west, American 2305.
Let's get the chock set there. And we get the door.
American 211, taxi.
Open the entry.
Is there a specific gate you're going to?
Cargo holds.
Any specific gates?
Nope.
American 211, taxi, take you in November Charlie, gate 33, please, on the left.
Standby.
Right, November Charlie, left, 33.
And reset it to 1200. Flight directors can be turned off. One and 2. Parking brake can be shut off. We got it chock now. Hydro 4 can now be shut off now that we got parking brakes. And ETA, I had said in my magic spreadsheet 415, 420. Didn't quite make that, and with 99.6 left, we got about a half an hour over. We were 20 minutes late getting out, but I think I adjusted I adjusted the planning sheet for the late departure.
Roger. Any specific gate at the international terminal?
Still an extra half an hour delay getting down. We're supposed to have 99.6 left, and I bet you we're a little below that, 83.6.
Stand 6 or stand 36?
6, number 6.
But given the extra half hour
Roger.
flight time,
Taxi,
that's
Mike Alpha,
reasonable.
stand number 6, please, then.
Let's finish this up. Shutdown checklist.
610. Thank you for the
And Jack says, sorry I'm late. Tried to land in Newark and had a crash to desktop on final. How was my flight? Flight was pretty good. We got a little bit of a delay coming into Kennedy, just some vectors across the airspace. The landing was not my best work, and the seems like the scenery wants to try and disappear on us. Or let's do the what's the overhead? Yeah, scenery's trying to disappear on us. So certainly not without issues, but overall good event, and made it down safely, more or less safely at least.
Delta.
So not too bad, Jack. Sorry to hear about your flight. It's like you do a flight of that length, and it crashes crashed to desktop at the very end. It kind of makes you feel like you wasted your day. So it sucks to hear that, Jack. But hope you had a good event up until then, at least.
All right. Yeah, I got multiple K62s actually.
Let's go ahead and get the air packs off. Get the ground power and AC set.
Delta 8263, push, start approved tail east, please. Sorry, tail west, please.
Get the external power on. Once it's, yep, there we go. 1 and 2.
United 69.
Now that we got that on, we can go ahead and, oops, didn't mean to do that. Meant to do that one there. We can turn the IRSs off though. Assuming we're shutting the plane down. If we were leaving that for the next crew, that would be a dick move right there, because then they're going to spend a half an hour realigning it. But CTP becomes CTD. Yeah, you hate to see it. Let's see. What else do we do? Yeah, minimums can get reset here. I think that's already kind of been done. Yep. No. Yeah, minimums don't want to reset for whatever reason. But we'll reset this to its default values, which is 200.
Delta 8283. Hold short of taxi Bravo Golf. Hold short of Golf. You can call ground 1219 when you are holding short.
And 10,000.
8283 taxi Bravo Golf.
I think we got everything else done.
1.9 when holding short. Jet 2848 heavy with you, Mike Alpha.
I think we can go, at this point we can go logo light off.
Jet 2848.
Wing lights can come
off. Is there a specific gate you're going to?
Wing lights are already off.
Not really. You can take us wherever you want. 2848.
2848. Taxi Mike Alpha stand or gate 67.
We'll get all the doors closed up. Hopefully all are off
Mike
at this
Alpha
point.
67.
Ramp JetBlue 418 with Sierra. We're ready. That's ready to taxi.
JetBlue.
Now we can do the IRS knobs, which we've already done. We turn the standby power off.
Stand by. I'm just gonna wait for traffic head to clear.
External power 2 can come off.
All right, and we could get around to the outer lane if that makes it easier for you.
And the emergency lights off.
Ooh, if you could, that'd be great. Take the outer lane. Hold short Fox. Contact ground 219.
Outer lane short of Foxtrot, ground .9 or JetBlue 418. You have a good one, sir.
And battery switch off.
Yeah, 35 will be ready to go in 30
there. And ground power and AC can be disconnected. Alright guys, well that kind of wraps it up then. That's a nice long event, always interesting. There's always going to be something that goes not quite right. But fortunately, for a record-setting number of connections to VATSIM, the VATSIM server infrastructure did pretty well, I thought. Let's see, let's get a nice review. So yeah, I was really expecting the event to be a little bit more of an issue with the server infrastructure, but the voice server held up well, the connections held up well. We didn't really have people dropping in and out too much. Did have a few individual planes that were having connection issues, but I have a feeling that was more of X-Pilot bogging down under heavy scenery and traffic. But controllers pretty much worked it out, and yeah, and then like I said, the server infrastructure seems like it really did hold up well. Let's get VATSPY up, get an update on the events. Do a refresh here. Yeah, I got quite a few still in the air. United 441 looks like he's got plenty of flying left to do, so we'll probably kick the stream over to him as we wrap up here. Alright guys. controller of the day, I think I'm going to give it to the New York approach controller that we dealt with as we first switched from center to approach. He was the one that had the kind of vectors all around, but I also felt like he did a really good job of keeping order from the chaos. So I think he's going to go ahead and get our good feedback. Remember, guys, after every flight, if you had a standout controller, don't hesitate to jump on their ARTCC website, ARTCC or FIR website, and give them a nice thank you. Those controllers and those controller staffs really do appreciate that. Look at that. I did end up, well, all right, not exactly. From this angle, it looked like I was right on that mark too. I didn't do too bad though. Not bad for a rank amateur, huh? Not bad for a bush pilot, right? All right, well, we're usually on 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Mondays and Fridays, a general aviation stream. The vast majority of the time, we do this airliner stuff pretty rarely on stream, but VATSIM Across the Pond is always one of those exceptions. But generally, you'll see GA-type stuff with the radio navigation only. That's what slant alpha means after all. So we don't tinker with the FMCs and the GPSs too often. Every now and then, we'll fly the business jet, the Cessna Citation. We'll go ahead and use the FMC in that, and then once in a blue moon, like I said, maybe once every 6 weeks or so, we'll bust out an airliner, and we'll do the full FMC suite in those, generally speaking. But a lot of times, it's just the radio navigation, old school VOR tracking, analog ILS gauge flying. And we do a lot of work in the Beach Baron and the Douglas DC-3. The next episode, Monday night, by the way, it's the big Bush League Monday flight, installment number 6. I can't believe we've been doing this for 6 months now. Details for scenery recommendations are posted up at downwindsim.com. Downwindsim, one of our partners in the Monday night Bush League events, and our scenery guru. So if you go over to his website, downwindsim.com, and you'll see the summary for Bush League event number 6, doing a little bit of a different format this time with a scavenger hunt style thing. Rather than us all following in a single file line, we're going to all kind of start at a central location and scatter in every which direction and attempt to land at as many airports as possible within a 90-minute time frame. And there are little Easter eggs that are included in the scenery that you can kind of pick up as you go. Not really pick up, but little stuff that you can pick up as you go. And then at the very end, it should all kind of assemble into something. So I'm kind of giving you maybe a little bit more detail than I'm meant to at this point. But you'll see all that Monday night. Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time over here on Slant Alpha Adventures. And you'll also find it probably on Downwind Sim and on Melvin Leroy's stream as well. So if you want to see the event from at least 3 different angles, and then generally from a couple more as well, depending on who jumps in and flies that with us. It's Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This week, we've got a special stream coming up on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. as well. We don't normally do a Wednesday night stream, but this week we are. We've got an event with the Virtual USA Flying Club, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday night. That's midnight on Thursday, Zulu time. It's the Texas Hoedown. And again, for the Virtual USA Flying Club, a little bit of a different format for that event, where we're all going to start. We're going to kind of do the opposite of the scatter drill on the Bush League flight. We're going to start from 3 different locations, and we're all going to converge on Denton, Texas. And we'll see if the controllers there, they've already been kind of given a heads up, and they've accepted the challenge of trying to merge 3 different general aviation arrival streams into one for sequencing into Denton. So that should be a good one. We got a couple of real good ones coming up. If you ever want to see the complete show schedule, you can scroll down below the window here on Twitch, or if you're on a mobile device, just click the info tab. We got all kinds of good information about the channel over there on the info tab or down below the window. You can also look at our social media pages if you want to know what's coming up. It's Slant Alpha on both Twitter and Facebook. And then the Discord server link is down on the lower right-hand corner of the screen as well. You can jump in on the conversation. And again, show schedule is posted there as well as also on our Facebook page. If you ever want to see our old broadcasts, those are on our YouTube channel. We upload all our broadcasts to YouTube so you can see them for posterity's sake. And that link's over on the left-hand side of the screen, and we've also got some tutorials there. If you're ever interested in jumping onto VATSIM, but you need some help figuring out how to do routes or what to say to controllers, stuff like that, so some tutorials over there on the YouTube channel that can help you out. Also, if you want to see how I come up with my fuel and flight time estimates, which didn't work out so well for this event because we got that nice big long vectoring across all of New York, But most of the times those estimates are pretty close, and at least if not, there's generally a good reason why. So if you ever want to see how I do all that math, that's got a nice tutorial on the YouTube channel as well. All right, guys. Well, thanks again for jumping in and checking us out. Appreciate you being here. The new guys that saw us today, again, it's mostly general aviation stream, so it's a little different than what you saw today, but hopefully you'll check us out again Monday and or Friday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and Wednesday this week as well, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So hopefully we'll see you then. In the meantime, do have a great rest of your weekend. Safe travels, stay well, stay healthy, and safe travels in your own adventures. We will talk to you again soon.